Welcome. This is the Lowe's MST training. It's a little bit informal, unofficial, and definitely more useful than the Lowe's training you guys gotten since orientation. Today we'll be talking mostly about servicing and resets. Those are the most important things as an MSA you'll be doing from District 1267 in San Francisco Bay Area, California. Alright, hope this video helps you. Alright, this is your zebra. You guys might have your own personal zebras. This is what the zebra looks like in 2026. This is your, I think the newer zebra version. Before we had a smaller version. This will be the same zebra type as the red vest people, which is the department workers, the retail sales floor people. They'll be having the same zebra types, just different colors. It should be either blue or black. But yeah, MST usually will be yellow. Okay. All right. So the turn on button is right here. And then you always have to swipe up for some reason. But this is your home page. So when you get your own zebra, it's not going to look like this. All these are customizable, and I added them. So to do that, you're gonna have to go to the top right icon, and then settings and personalization, if that can focus. Settings and personalization. Edit home screen. Edit home screen applications, and there's gonna be all of these you can add. So for MST, the most important ones you want to add is of course the MST app right here. You're gonna have to check it, and then yeah, and then also is the Lowe's U app, which you should know from the orientation. That's going to be really helpful, so you can just do your training on your phone. And then the Lowe Safe Review app you do not need. It's just something the asset protection team will want you to have, but it's definitely not required. And you can also have the AP4Me app up here. Not really recommended because it's really hard to watch videos on here. But yeah, and then I'm just going to exit out because I'm not going to save anything. But once you do that, it's going to ask you to save, and then you just save. Alright, and then you can just leave. And then your home screen, you can just move them around if you want them. If you want them to, like that. But I prefer not to. So, and then you can just press done, and that's it. Some default apps you cannot remove is the My Lowe Companion up here and the Link app. Those two are default by the zebra, and then you just can't remove them. I never use them at all. A useful feature on the zebra app, or necessary feature on the zebra app, is your push talk. Let's say PTT Pro. That is your walkie-talkie essentially. You click on it, and it's going to give you all the list of the people who's logged in on PTT. And yeah, you can talk to any of the red vest, your blue vest, or red vest or MST. You can click on it, and then you can press the talk button. However, if they're on the DND mode, you cannot talk to them. They're going to be blocked. Okay. And then to go on DND mode, I'm currently on DND mode right now because I'm recording, but it's the 3 dots up here, and you can press this and turn you online or DND. It is very important not to leave your zebra on DND, because if someone's trying to reach you on DND and they can't reach you, they might have to go find you, and it can take a while. Okay, and a recommended setting I would do is going to the settings and general, and it's going to be wake display at call start. So it's usually default on. I usually turn it off. So what I turn this off is that, so when the store calls everyone on the PTT, which is very common, your zebra screen will turn on. And what happens is, if you are not part of this call and your phone is in a pocket, you can butt dial and that's not fun. It's very annoying. So I always turn the wake display at call start, so the screen does not turn on. So to call everyone in the store, you go back to the home screen, you go to groups, and you be all employees, and then you just press and hold the blue button, and then everyone's zebra will turn on, and everyone's zebra will start speaking. Another thing you can do is to favorite someone to your contact list. So you can just press any of these yellow buttons, yellow stars, and then you can go in your third menu or your first menu, and all the favorites are on here. This is pretty important if you want to call like a specific MSA. So if you don't want to go through all the contacts to find someone, you can just favorite all your MSAs and go favorites, and you just find them. These are all my MSAs. Okay. So products app is going to be these 3 apps. These here are like the top 3 most important apps you'll be using as an MSA. Products app is anything you can scan an item or punch in an item number right here, and then you can get any item number or description. So if I want like a tool chest, it's gonna show me all the tool chests in the store, and then all of them will have the location under it. Okay, so if I want this one, so for example, it's gonna tell me most importantly the photo, and the item number is gonna be right here. So this is store quantity, sellable quantity, and order. So if it's gonna be if it's an ordered item, like it's just gonna ship from the regional distribution center, also known as the RDC, then it's gonna say ordered. And then this is store quantity. Sellable quantity is a little bit iffy. You don't really need to know about that. But yeah, besides that, this is also the more important part. Right here. This is the really important part. See locations. So this is going to be all the locations in the store. Okay? So there's going to be 2 main things. Going to be one is called selling, another is top stock. That's the categories. So selling is just, for example, that bay right there. Oh, I need to talk about what bays are, but that it will be a selling location, and the top stock location will be the products up there stored up. Okay, that is the difference between selling and top stock. Through this, you can also see your location history, so you can just see the people who has checked in and checked out the items before. This one doesn't have any location history because it is a new system, so they not have anything. But you can see there's a lot of checked in location histories for something like this, a popular item. And yeah. All right. So that's products app. So I can also punch in an item number or scan. So if I go over here and I scan something, I'll also show you how to scan something. And it'll just pop it up. Okay. Another thing that's helpful in products app is the photos. You can click on the photo and then you see all of them. So if you need help, like a customer, see more details about something, that would be a good help. And I just lost the scan. Okay. All right. Let me scan it. Alright, so that's one way to get the photos. Another is you can scroll down and there's a bunch of other stuff here. Inventory info, upcoming arrivals are a little bit iffy for us. We don't really use it. And sales info, definitely not. Inventory adjustment is how you bill out something, but that is more for an MSM, or also known as your merchandising service manager. They will teach you, they will build stuff out, so you don't need to worry about that. Check in, check out, pretty important. I'll show you how you guys do that. Another thing you can do down here is your description and specs. So your description and specs is more like also helping customers. You can see the description, you can see the specifications, like the height and the width and stuff like that. That's something you can help. Alright, for example, if you want to scan something, you go products app, it's going to load up. Usually will auto log you in. If it doesn't, you're going to have to put in your sales ID and password. So there's the products app right here, and then you just scan the barcode. So to scan an item, there's a few buttons on the zebra. This button right here is your scan. Right, this button is for scanning. This is your volume button. This is your up and down volume. So this earlier we were talking about the volume button. So if you press it, you can just adjust your volume like so. You just press the buttons just like a regular phone. For us, you can press this and you can have sound, ringer, or sorry, vibration, and this is mute. If you press the ringer and you scan something, it'll beep and it'll also vibrate. But if you press the mute button, or vibrate mode, if you scan something, it will just vibrate, no sound. Oh. So if you press the mute button, if you scan something, it's gonna make the sounds. But I like to keep it on the sound, so because once I scan something, I can hear and hear the sound and feel the vibration. But yeah, this is double-sided. One here on the left side, one here on the right side. So just scan it, and anytime it's scanned, you see there's like a square and a dot in it. So you're trying to get the dot to scan it. But it's pretty good at figuring out stuff. So here is a product for this. So now I have this, and it will show you the location of it. And this is going to be left wall bay 31. and it looks like it is empty. So there is nothing here. That's correct. There is nothing in this area. So to mark something as empty, I'll also show you how, but let's pretend we filled it up. So this really is not our job. That would be the red vest freight team, but you'd go on the 3 dots on the right, check in inventory, and it will mark that location as, if that thing goes away, as it doesn't say empty anymore. So if you want to mark something as empty, that is something you would do. If, for example, for example, if you took out all the product here, you need to mark it as empty on the products app. Okay. So to mark it as empty, go on 3 dots, and it's gonna say mark location as empty. Now, if this thing goes away again, it's gonna say empty. All right. So now, let's just pretend we want to remove this location permanently from this bay. And the reason why we need to do that is, for example, if it's like a thing we need to remove permanently from the bay and we don't want to have to go back in, like a stop sale or a discontinued item, we would go in here. Again, same thing, right 3 dots. You just press it, and you press remove location. And what that does is now that selling location is no longer in the system. That was the process of checking something, singular something out. Now we want to check this same thing in by itself. We just go out of the screen. Now we can scroll down, we can press check inventory, and now it's going to say check in inventory and then scan location barcode. And there is a few location barcodes you guys might remember from your training. You guys should know that your blue barcode is your standing barcode, which is the selling location, and your yellow barcode is the top stock location, okay? And the blue barcode should always be underneath the yellow barcode. However, in some cases, there's some maybe some mistake, and maybe the yellow barcode's on the bottom. Just replace it then, and replace it and put it on top. All right, I have my item scanned, and now I want to check it in. Scroll down, check in inventory, and now just scan the blue barcode, and it's gonna give me a few things. So area is appliances, aisle left wall, bay 31, type S. So the type is gonna either be S or TS. S stands for selling, TS stands for top stock. All right, and on the bottom is gonna say complete. There you go, you just checked it in, and now you can go in your locations, and you can see that selling location, aisle left wall, bay 31. All right, and as you remember earlier, it's an empty bay, so we're gonna have you mark it as empty. All right, that's how you essentially check in something. However, if you want to check in or check out bulk items, or you just want to see the products in a bay, you can go products app and not do and then you can just scan the blue barcode, and it's gonna show you some details. So this is also a good way to tell your aisle and bay if you don't have any information. Like if you don't have any information on where the aisle or bay is, you can just see aisle left wall, bay 31. Also, another key thing is there's going to be a few walls. So there's going to be the left wall, right wall, front wall, back wall. That's going to be LW, RW, FW, and BW. And there's going to be it's going to be inside and outside. So outside garden has its own set of aisle numbers, and usually they do duplicate over the first few aisle numbers. So in our store, we have aisles 1 to I want to say 8 aisles outside, and it's going to be aisle 1 through aisle 8, and we also have aisle 1 through aisle 8 inside our store. So there's underneath any location, it's going to say the department name. So for this, it's going to be appliances, and that is going to be important because for garden, there's a few times I messed up when I sent a customer inside instead of outside. And yeah, just remember when you check in the location, always see the department name for something that looks like it would be outside. Alright, back to where we're going. Alright, so this is your location details. You have all the items in this location. Alright, and there's only 10 items. So for this, you can go actions, and you can press in check-in items or check-out items. So if you press in check-in items, you can just start scanning multiple barcodes. And what that's going to do is it's going to recognize all 3 of them, and then you can press check in inventory. And then checkout, yeah, like I said earlier, checkout we don't really use. However, there's going to be something in the reset that we will use checkout for. All right. And one last thing I forgot to mention earlier is that you can, if you click here, it's going to give you the extended item information. And what's going to give you is, what we should know is, if we go all the way down, last received. So this is going to be March 9th, 2026. And that's important for us because if we lost our, if we cannot find a product, we can always check here and see the last received inventory, and that will give us like a general idea how long ago the item was received. And if it was a long time ago, we do not need to find it. But if it was like recent, like maybe a few months ago, it just means it's somewhere around the store and you go find it. All right. And for example, this one says store quantity 1, and that was March. And that means it might be in the store somewhere. We just need to go find it. However, for these cases, displays in some areas technically are from our stock area, and that does ruin our selling quantity just by a little bit, because we can still sell the displays, if that makes sense. We can sell the displays after it's been discontinued, so that's why we cannot bill it out and have it has 0 store quantity. Alright, next item is going to be pricing. The home page, might be a different location for you, beat this. And this is your pricing app. So pricing app is basically printing any of these labels out. So any labels you need to print out, you go pricing app. And another trick I'll show you in a bit. So let's see. We scan this. It's going to be a few information. So this also gives you location information. And then if you scroll down, there's going to be 2x1, 4x2, 3x5, 4x8. What does that mean? There's 4 sizes of labels. Okay, and I'll show you every single one in a bit. 2x1 label, 4x2 label, 3x5 label, which is less used. It's not that's common, but it's going to be used for displays like this, and some selling stuff in tool chests. You'll see where you'll know where you need to use it, but it's not that common. 4x8 label, which is going to be used primarily on side stacks like this. Alright, so to print something, you can either queue it or print it immediately. So if I press Q, and I press Q over here, we can go our Q print label right here in our top right corner. And this is where all the items we just queued will be. However, if I just want to print one and I'm already at the printer, you just press print, and then you just go print. And also another thing for the labels is that you can print more than one quantity, so there's a lot you can print. However, you really never need to print like more than like 4 or 5 at a time. But yeah, that's an option if you need. Another thing in pricing app that I was talking about earlier is the important thing. The pricing app has these numbers, which is also known as the bin numbers. So if it says LW, Bay 31, location 9, that is going to be printed on every single label. Every single label under this item number. So if we come in over here, you can see LW 31-9. That is what exactly on here. So this is very useful for us when we need to find something. Here's going to be a practical use of this information. So for example, I just have to find a product. So for example, I put in this item number. Alright, this is the products app. It's going to show you the bay, aisle and bay number. However, there's no bin numbers, which is what I was talking about earlier. And if there's no bin numbers, this bay could seem very daunting to you, especially in very packed bays. You would not know where it is. So you can go over here in the printing app. Oh, sorry, the products app. You can either go do this in the pricing app. You can scan in the pricing app, or you can scroll down here if you're already in the products app to print labels. So this will just redirect you to the pricing app, and it'll already punch in the item numbers for you. So the aisle number and the bay number, aisle number is a little bit wrong since we had earlier reset this this year, and we haven't changed our bin numbers. We haven't proactively changing it, but basically this is your bin numbers: aisle 29, bay 24, location 3. But the most important part is to look at the top part, the square up here. It's going to say the actual location. However, we know it's aisle 29, bay 24, location 3. We can just step forward into our aisle and then we can check. So it's going to say right here. So we now know it's 29, 24, 23. You just locate it right there. Okay, I'll show you more examples in a bit. All right, this is our store's printer carts. We have all of our printer carts together. However, most stores will have your printer carts like not together. They'll be randomly throughout the store. You need to go familiarize it with yourself, familiarize it with your other fellow MSAs and your MSM. They can give you a tour where they are usually. Most likely, some other MSA will be using the pricing cart and they'll be taking it. However, in our store, we don't move them around. We just keep them in one location, and that's pretty nice. So this is our 2x1 printer, our 4x2 printer, our 3x5 printer, and our 4x8 printer. So earlier we queued something in our pricing app, so I'm going to show you how to print it. So for example, I want to print the 2x1 label. Okay, so what I would do is I press print, and then it's going to give me all the locations, right? What you need to usually do is you just scan the barcode and it'll just print. Okay, that's easy. Same thing, 4x2 printer, a 4x2. Just print it, and then just go to the printer, you scan it. Alright, and you print a lot. Sorry, if you're printing a lot, you just need to fold them up, and then it's easier to carry. Also, for your guys' stores, every printer will have a window on the back of them, so you can see what labels are in it. So this is gonna be our 2x1. Alright, you might be wondering to yourself, how do I print a yellow barcode? So that's pretty easy actually. So I have a yellow barcode, which is a clearance item. You should only print a yellow barcode for it's a clearance item. So for in this case, it says clearance down here. Here clearance. So that's why we can print it. So if we go, you can do this through pricing app or the products app. For my case, the products app, you can just scroll down and press print labels. And yeah, you can see now there, in this case, you can see that all the colors of it is not white but now yellow. And also another thing you can see is that there's no 3x5 availability to print for this, and there's a lot of the labels will not have a 3x5 label size available to print, so this just means you can't print that. So in this case, you can just print it as regular label and queue. I can just do, for example, I'm gonna just queue item 1 or 4x2 and queue 2x1. You know, queue labels, you can see that they're yellow. And then if I do queue another label, that's a white label. So this is another label. This is just a white label, a regular label. You can see this one also, the 3x5 availability to print. But this one, I can just queue another one, for example. If I go to the queue, you can see that they separate. You see this 2x1 yellow one and a 2x1 white one. All right. That's how you separate it. But yeah, you can just print it as is. So I'm gonna print the 4x2 real quick. Another tip is that if you memorize your printer number, you can just tap on the number, and then you can just print it. And for example, this is a 4x2. I know my 8 and 9s are 2x1s. So if I press 8, it's gonna say incorrect label stock loaded for current selection. So I don't really worry about the size, but just worry about the colors. So I know my labels I know my printer is going to be 11. So you tap it and just print. However, there is a downside to knowing your printer number, because if you know your printer number and you just print something from like afar, what happens is it can print it. However, if someone is already currently printing something, your label will get mixed into their label. So that is a definitely thing you have to make sure. Always go to a label printer before you print it. Just in case someone's already printing something and you just print it, your label will get mixed into their batch of labels that they printed. Alright, let's just print out the rest of these labels. I'm gonna do one method. I'm gonna just do one method. I'm gonna just print the label like this. And also, the label sometimes does default, so you don't need to like click it again. But this last one, I'm gonna just go scan it again. Just scan. Just press the scan button. Just scan the QR code, and that's easy. And this is a different item number, so that's why it's also white. Alright. Also, if you ever need to get labels or 4x2 or 2x1 labels, always grab the rolls that are in your carts. Do not just press the label button. So there is a button on these printers. If I can get my tripod in. There is a label on the button. This middle one, you press it, it rolls out a piece of label. However, the thing is with that button, it rolls out ink as well on the ink ribbon. So what that means is that every time you press that button, it does dispense one piece of paper or one label, but also wastes ink on a blank label. I don't know if that makes sense, but every time you press that button, you're wasting ink. So always, you can either open it up and grab some labels like that, or you can go to your drawer. Sometimes someone already did that already, so you can just grab it off like that. But that's your two methods to grab labels if you need it for top stocking reasons or whatnot. So this is 2x1 white label, 2x1 yellow label, which is and yellow labels are usually for clearance and reduced tags. 4x2 yellow label, 4x2 white label, which is very important label. This is a very important label because these labels are used for marking stuff in top stock, like marking item numbers in top stock. For example, right there, that box right there, that is a 4x8 label with the item number and a quantity number, and that is very important for freight and MSAs, just anyone in general. This is our 3x5 yellow label. This is our 3x5 white label. And 3x5s, you can test around with it. It can fold, and yeah, we don't use it at all. And 4x8 white labels, there's no borders on this one, so it looks a little bit weird. And let me grab it out. 4x8 yellow label. And on every cart, they should have a trash can, a Lowe's bucket, and a trash can. Every store may be a little bit different, but we have our discard ink in our bucket and our trash in this trash can on the right. Okay, all right. To open a printer, there's gonna be two latches on the side. You just pull in. All right. So in a printer, there's gonna be a few critical parts. There's your label right there, and there's your ink ribbon up there. And that is the two consumables that you always have to change. Alright, so for our labels, there's going to be this sliding thing, and this is very useful for all the printers because you can fit any type of size label. Okay, so every label has a roll, and the hole inside of it, let's put it in here, clamp it in between the hole, go underneath this, let's see, what is it? Underneath these catches right here, and then you put it on the rubber wheel up here. Just put it a little bit like halfway out, and once you close it, there's gonna be some. There's gonna be some messages on the screen, on the printer label. The second one is gonna be yellow, and that just means it's paused right now and using a printer, and that just calibrates the printer, so it prints it out. Prints out two blank ones, so now it's ready to go. So no more error messages. All right, and these printers are very glitchy, so there's gonna be there's gonna be times where the printers won't work, and you're just gonna have to call IT. So this is another common error message code. So when this pause button is yellow or orange, if the label sign is red, it just means that there's no more labels inside. So for this demonstration, I just took it out. But yeah, to replace it, it's just simple. You just get the same thing and you just put it in there. All right, and it's the same thing for this ink ribbon. If the ink ribbon is empty, then it also will show red label error message. To remove the label, to remove the ink ribbon, you just open the case all the way up. So sometimes if you only open the printer like halfway, you can't take it out. You have to make sure it's all the way open, and just take the ink ribbon out. To put the ink ribbon in, make sure the arrow side is up, and you just slide it in. Make sure you hear the click and feel it's actually in. Close it. That's it. But for me, I have to put the ink in, the label as well. So this is an example of a spent ink ribbon. When you see the silver foil on this on the ribbon, that means it's empty. That means it's done. And these cannot be thrown in the trash. They have a special garbage can in the back for them. Ask your MSA or any associates of yours and see where the ink ribbons go. But yeah. Alright, now we are going to talk about pricing. Daily price changes. So this is how we get all of the changes in our labels and such, like everything that changes in price. This is how we do it. So we're gonna go to a zebra and go to pricing app, and then go in top left corner, 3 lines, and then go to daily price change. So as you can see right now, we are only 25% completed in the day. You can also scroll down and see all the departments. So on the right side, you can see all the amount of items per department. It really depends how you want to knock them out. If you're doing pricing, I usually like to do all the big ones first and do like the large amount of items first, and then I end off the day with small items. Because some days there will be days that you will not be able to finish. So if you can finish the big ones first, then do that. So I'm gonna just do this one. It's just 2 items. So I click on it, I press Q, and yeah, there you go, price change, and Q4, 2 labels. So I just print it on our labels, which is mine is printer 10. It's just gonna print right there. So what I want to do with these labels, I want to scan them to confirm that I did them. So this is also another thing you can do. So let's go back to our zebra and say price Q. So we can just exit out, and then now we have to confirm that we printed these out. So what we can do is A, we put these up and then we scan it, or B, which I prefer, is scan all the labels. This can be up to maybe like 200 labels in a department, so it is completely up to you how you want to process it, but you must scan the label to show that you finished this item. So if you don't activate it, it's just going to be unprinted status. It just means someone printed it and this hasn't been activated, and that's not good, because that just means you have to print it again if there's multiple pricing people. So what I usually do is just scan the label through the daily pricing app. You just go to the regular daily pricing changes webpage or screen, and then you just scan the label. So I just scanned my first label, and what it says is price activation successful. So just scan the next. I scanned the wrong one. So what is useful on this is you can see the previous price. So you can see over here it says $14.99 to $18.98. However, this item, it says 0 on hand and no locations. So I know I can just throw it away because there is no locations for this item. In our daily price changes, it's very common that they'll give us price changes on items that we don't carry in the store or have anymore, or even clearance items that we also don't carry anymore. So let's go back to the first one. So this is the item original price $41 to $32.98. So if I go to aisle 13 bay 3, I will just be looking for an item number, this item number, or this price $41.98. Or you can even go to more info and see all the locations. If there's multiple locations, you want to print more labels of it, you just go to the default pricing app, and you just scan it, and then just print some more labels. Because if there's more labels, if there's multiple locations and you have one label, what's going to happen is you're only going to change one of the prices, and the other location's prices will be wrong. And that's going to be price mismatch. We'll show you in a bit. However, let's go put this one label up right now. Alright, so I'm at the location right now. So there's another useful thing, right? You can see, as you can see, there's the aisle number, bay number, and the location number. And that is what we were talking about earlier. The bin numbers is super useful. So if I just go over here, I can just check right here. This is location 33. So this is location 33, and I know that this is the same item number. I'll just double check it real quick, 4222. And if this is the right label, I just rip it off and just throw it away. And then I'll put the new label exactly where you got it. And if you're the type of person who likes to activate labels, or you figure out you want to activate labels after you put it on, this is where you go activate them. You just go pricing app, go to daily price changes, just scan it again, and I'll say barcode activated. Okay? There's no really difference when you activate it. It's just you gotta know and remember if and when you activated it. Okay? And that is how you do price changes. Let's go on to price mismatch. So we're gonna talk about price mismatch now. So price mismatch is just all the labels that are scanned that is the wrong price. So this is what I was talking about earlier. So if there is multiple locations and you only do the daily price change for one of the locations, the other location will have an unupdated label. And so, for example, if anyone scanned an unupdated label, it's going to show up on the system. It's going to go under a price mismatch. So open pricing app, 3 labels, and then go price mismatch. So we go to the price mismatch screen. It will default to show my own scanned mismatches only. And these are all the labels that I scanned that are incorrect prices. If I turn this off, if you're doing pricing like a pricing person, you can see all the stores pricing mismatch, and this is pretty bad. We have 146. But I'm for the sake of demonstration, I'm only gonna do the ones that I have did wrong. But I'm only gonna do one because it's a lot of price mismatches still. So, for example, if I open tools and I look at this, it says that I have scanned a belt sander that is the wrong price. So what happened is I scanned a label that says $230, but in reality it's a $239. So what happens now is I just click it, and this is the hard part of price mismatch. You're just gonna have to know what size label it is. So if you don't know what size label it is, you can either A, look for it, or B, you can go to the or just print and guess. By experience, I know this will be probably a 4x2. However, this has no locations. So what this leads me to believe is that this was probably a clearance item, or like an inactive item, something like that. But if I just print it out and I can't find the location, I just throw it away, because that means like this has no sim locations. I can't find it, but there is one on hand, so that's a little bit iffy for me. But I will just print one 4x2. So I use Q and go up here, and it will show my price mismatch queue. And it looks like it is a clearance one, so I do know where this one is. So I'll just go print. I'll print out my label, and I'll print right there. So that is the label I just printed. This one I do know. This one actually just, I know exactly where it is. I guess they unsimmed it. Another way you can check is you can go on here and you just go to products app, and you just scan it. You can press the location history, and it will say the previous location. It looks like someone checked it out, and this is what happens when you service a bay and you don't scan everything in it. Even if there's clearance items in the bay, you also have to scan it. So in a bit, I'll show you where it is. Another thing I forgot to show is once you print it out and queued it, once you queued it and print it out, if you exit back, it will say apply and scan new label to resolve mismatch. This is the same thing as activating a label and pricing. So you just press understand, and then you just scan it, and then your price mismatch will be resolved, and it will not show up in that list anymore. It's that simple. However, just remember to put it on. So I know my my product's in here right now. it does seem to have the same exact label. So what probably happened was I scanned an old label before I printed this one, and I never resolved that price mismatch, and yeah. So I mean, as long as the prices are the same, you don't have to put it on. Okay, so I can see that's $239.12, $239.12. Yeah, but just remember, these barcodes should reflect the price, not just the item number. I don't know how the barcodes work, but all I know is that if this is a different price, it will show in the barcode to the zebras, and the zebras will see that is a different price. But yeah, we don't know. We can only see the number. So this is another thing to be cautious of. Never scan an old label. You just find like randomly. If you scan an old label, chances are it was like a really long time ago and the price was different, and it's just gonna give you a price mismatch, and then someone's gonna have to resolve it for you. So just never scan some random old label you see in the back of like a bay or something and expected nothing to happen, because you will get a price mismatch and someone is gonna have to go find it, and if they can't find it, then it's gonna be a little annoying for them. But all I know is that this label is the same as that. I'll just check it in real quick, so I will be showing it on our sim system. But yeah, that is how you do price mismatches. Just refer to MSM if you have any more questions. It should be this simple, straightforward, and you probably will be tasked to do price mismatches like maybe once or twice a week. To print a special label like this, this is in our tool world bay. You can see over here. That is our aisle number, and then our bay number next to it. This is a bin locator. It's called a bin locator price tag. This can also be in our flooring departments. However, this might be discontinued in a while, but I'm gonna just show you how to print these in case you need it. So go to your this one, you do need to go a little bit closer to your printer. Just go pricing app, and then you can go down to a pricing app and then the corner custom labels. So you can check all of them out, but the most important ones you ever need in this is literally the locator. And any of these ones are all specialty labels, and maybe the product group, but most of these are not useful. We don't use them at all. The locator, and then we just select. So for us would be I think it was 69 by 8, and we can print it like that. And there's no queue as well, so you just it directly prints to the printer. But there you go. Or if you need to print a range for like flooring or something, what you can do is just gonna be like from 69 bay 1 to 69 bay like what, like 69 basics aisle 69, or for flooring actually it's a little bit different. It's for flooring it is the bay number, so just say bay 8, and this is the bin locator number. So and then you can be like 8, like maybe like 19. And then you can also select print only odd numbers. As you remember earlier, I said you cannot have any even number bin numbers. So if you print it like this, we'll just have quantity of 10, and we'll just print it. I'm not gonna print it because I don't need that. But yeah, this is how you print a, well, they call it as a locator label. But yeah, you might need it, you might not need it. It's up to your stores. So yeah, that's that. So these are called ESLs. These are the electronic, I still don't know what it stands for, but I think it's just selling labels or something like that. But basically these every day will automatically update the price. But these ESLs are more expensive than just regular paper labels. So these are only used for expensive items such as fridges and definitely the appliances area. All the appliances should have ESLs, because the prices always change for like some deals or something. But yeah, so to change the prices or change the label on them, because changing the price changes automatically, so don't worry about that. But let's go. So if you go to pricing app, if you go to the top left corner, link ESL, that's the thing. So link ESL is going to tell you scan ESL barcode. And the barcode on these ESLs are right here. So this is the barcode. What you want to do is just block out the regular barcode and just scan the left side. And it's just going to show you it's gonna show you the current item that's on it. So the current item that's on it right now is 5990173. So if I want to make that ESL blank, I would press unlink. That's only used for if you need like store it and you don't need to use it anymore. Like store it as in like putting your MST bin, not using it for a while. You can do that. However, if I want to just change it to a different item number, I just tap anywhere in this blue area. Just tap it, and it's gonna show you the details of the item, and then you can just press change item. So now what you can do is you can A, scan the item, or B, just type in the label, the number. But I don't really need to change anything. But in the sake of demonstration, I can just show you scanning it. So it's just going to be this one. Assuming this is the right label. Nope. Nope. Oh. So I just scanned the barcode label again, label for it. Well, this is the same item number, so it doesn't really matter. But I just scanned it. Or you can go, if you want to change it again, you can change it, and you can just type in the item number. For me, it would be 5990173. Search, and then you can link it. And since this one doesn't change, it's not gonna do anything. But if you are gonna change it to a different item number, it's gonna take I would say 5 to 10 minutes for the system to refresh. The ESL has to flash itself, and then it's gonna refresh after like 5-10 minutes. There's also different sizes of ESLs. There's two common. There's the most common. There's only two common ones. It's this size, the small one. It's just size about maybe like my 2 fingers. And then these are the appliance ones. These are the only ones used for for appliances. And these ones, you can see there have 2 of them. So if I go over here right now, and you won't see the barcode on it. There's no ESL barcode that's in the front face of it. You are going to have to find it. And all the ESL barcodes are in this bottom left corner on the bottom side of the ESL. So I scan it, and I see the different item numbers. So you can see how they're double stacked. In a minute, I'll show you an example how to do it. But the same process applies. You just tap it. You know, you can change which one you want. Let's just do an example. Press change item, and it's only gonna change the top item. The bottom one will be unchanged. However, I don't want to change it because I'm gonna lose the item. I'm gonna lose the item number. So let's go find another. Let's go find a blank ESL. So that is the flashing process of an ESL. This is something I just unlinked. It's just gonna look pretty weird. It's gonna look like it's glitched or haunted or something like that. But this is the process. Every morning, I want to say around when the store opens, all the ESLs start flashing at the same time. It's a little bit weird if you just see it first time, but yeah, all the ESLs flash like this. So this is an unlinked ESL. It's gonna take a little bit while still, but let me show you. So when I scan this ESL, let's just go refresh our memory. Go to pricing, left side, link ESL, and then just scan barcode. So for this screen, you can either scan the barcode, the physical barcode, or this digital barcode. This digital barcode is the same as the one on the bottom. This is what happens when you unlink a barcode, unlink an ESL. It'll show you the barcode on the screen. So I just scan the front page now, and there's going to be 2 different settings. So on these bigger ones, it will have 1 item or 2 items. Since earlier you saw there was 2 items, this is just a single item. So we just press the top part. This is 1 item. You just click it, and then you just type in or scan the barcode. Just type in the item number, and I'll link it. Another thing, if you are paying attention right now, if you do any appliance display resets or generally any displays or fixtures, I would highly recommend writing both the fixture and the display number on the appliance or the fixture or the display. So, for example, in our store, all or most will have the item number written on the back of the thing. For example, for us, our displays can not just be in appliances, but it can also be in our ceiling fans, our vacuums, lights, anything that we put up. We always write the display numbers or the fixture number if that applies. And always write the display and or fixture number if it applies. This just makes it easier for us to identify the item number, and if we need to look at a POG and see the fixture number, that'll be just really easy. But as you can see, it flashed up already, and it's linked. So that's how you just do on a bigger one. So this is the least common ESL size. This is probably the size of like an iPad or something. This is like in the suites, the appliance suites, S-U-I-T-E-S. There's this type. You can have either a single item or you can have 4 different items like that. But yeah, most likely you won't be changing these. But if it's there, if you need to know, it's gonna look like kind of the same screen, but instead of like 1 or 2 items, you can have 1, 2, or 4 items. But yeah. As a person who will service, here's a few tools that you will need. Most importantly, your zebra. Next thing is the grab stick. Some stores will have a lot, some stores will not have that much. Is to grab the items from the back of a bay. So this is a scraper. It's a cheap thing MST will give you. Personally, I do not like to use these ones. I like to use a store build-out paint scraper. However, this is not Lowe safe. It is completely up to you and your MSM to decide if you can or cannot use it. This is a non-flex one, is a rigid one, and it is sharp, so you gotta be very careful. But this is really easy, really nice to just like continually flicking off of price tags and whatnot. But for servicing, this is the main thing. Just grab stick, zebra in your hands to move around stuff. In a short bit, I'll show you how to service. So as you can see, this is a damaged mud flap, and the mud flaps are very easy to damage. However, we're not really in charge of taking care of mud flaps. If they break, either department supervisors will fix it, or they'll ask us nicely to fix them, because once we set our bays, we are not responsible to maintain them. However, if you have time, definitely maintain them. And if you're servicing, also definitely fix these mud flaps. But if you're not servicing them or you're not working on the bay, you're not really responsible. MST is not really responsible of fixing said mud flaps. However, for the sake of demonstration today, I'm just going to go fix this mud flap. So I already printed out the label. So first things first, get yourself your scraper. I have my metal scraper, Lowe safe one. But I still like to use it. You just scrape it off, and as you can see, this is 2-piece. Just throw it away. There's no point of keeping them. So this is your mud flap right here. Your mud flap, focus, is just 2-piece. It's really just simple. You just literally, this is double-sided tape. You stick it to the bottom. And that's about it. And I would suggest first putting the label on the mud flap first, then putting it under the beam. It's a little bit easier. So these mud flaps are designed only for the 4x2 labels. So once you put it on, if it focuses, and once you put it on, just take off the double-sided adhesive on here. Take it off. It's off now. Just make sure it's not super rough on this side. If it is, I'll get a scraper and just scrape off the stuff. So for demonstration purposes, I'm gonna just scrape it real quick. That's just the old double-sided tape, pretty much. All right, you just find a good spot, I guess, and then just stick it on real hard. Because these mud flaps will eventually all fail, because these mud flaps are not really good quality. But yeah, once you stick on the label, it's gonna kind of like be like folded upwards, pretty much. It's not really desirable, but that's kind of how the mud flaps are designed. If you press it too much, it might rip, so you don't want to do too much. But yeah, that's about it. And if these mud flaps do fall off, you can A, throw it away and replace it, or B, get a strip of double-sided tape and put it on where the existing or the old double-sided tape is supposed to go. But yeah, definitely fix these if you're servicing or installing them. So this is your bulk saving signs. I'm not sure what they're called. There has to be a name for them out there. But basically, some products will have bulk savings deals, and like buy some amount of number and you get cheaper price per. But yeah, we have little labels for these to put up. This one is missing a few, but you don't need to put them that close together, as long as you have like maybe like 1 or 2 per, like let's just say a lot of them. Yeah, like for this elevation you can see there's quite a few bulk saving signs. You can just put one at each end pretty much, like displays. So what I'm gonna do, these are also just double-sided tape on the back of them. Just take it off. Take it off and then just stick it right in between the labels. Alright, and that's that. That's how you put on a bulk display or bulk savings label. It's just easy like that. And you should also be replacing these, actively replacing these in servicing if they're broken, and resets if they're if you got new labels or new products. Alright, so this is how you do J hooks. So this is what I call a J hook. J hooks are just these things on the uprights. The J hooks are, you can see, I don't know if there's a J at the end. That's why it's kind of like an upside down J. It's kind of like a J hook. So on the newer J hooks, all of them will have a hook on the bottom. Zoom in. Oh, let's focus. You can see that hook on the bottom. So basically, this allows it to be able to hook inside the upright, on the top and the bottom. And for J hooks, all of the J hooks in your store should be roughly around 67 inches, which is the standard for all the J hooks, and that is going to be eye level height. So we're going to tape measure. Just measure 67 inches to the top, or the hole where the J hook will be. So right now I measured 67 inches to the exact hole where I just put it in, and that is where you put. That's how you put J hooks. Your J hooks should be in your MST bay or outside somewhere. But yeah, this is how you set J hooks, and J hooks will be on the pogs. Alright, so this is a different base. So J hooks are technically on the pog. So we've got the pog real quick. So if you can kind of see on the left corner, there's a number, and that is J hook. And J hooks are really important because once you do your servicing and you don't scan the J hook in, number one, it will be checked out. Number two, you're not gonna get a 100% accuracy score. So if we go on our label, on our pog again, that J hook location ID 1 is underneath J hook. So that just means this item will be a J hook. This item will be a J hook, and we're gonna have to set it. But on the planogram, it says it's on the left side. However, in our store, we have it on our right side. And why is that? So that could be an issue between, that could just be a setting issue, or that this pog has a J hook on the right side of the pog, and it's on this side. And that is an issue with some pogs, so you're just gonna have to figure it out like that. We just put on the right side because there's no J hooks on that pog over there on the left side of that pog, so we just put on that upright. You can never put two J hooks on one upright. That is not allowed, and that is gonna look really ugly. But yeah, that is how J hooks are set. Another thing is J hooks without the J. These are the old versions. Without the J on the bottom, they have to be zip tied. They have to be zip tied and cut. This one is not cut flushly, so I'm gonna cut it real quick. But it has to be zip tied to the upright, or else they're gonna just flop around. All right. Side stacks. It should be in your training. So this is a permanent side stack. This is metal, and this is your quarterly side stacks. These are just cardboard boxes. Usually, no pads are on it. If there is pallets on it, yeah, there's. But every quarter you're gonna get new every quarter you're gonna get new side stacks sent to your store, and there's gonna be a reset about it, and you just have to bring them down. Every side stack is a little bit different from each other, so just remember to know how to install them. They're not too hard to install, and of course print out the labels and definitely sim them into the nearest location. So for this side stack, I believe this is simmed to this bay right here. You can sim it to that bay as well. So according to your store, it might be a little bit different, but this is what we call our drop zone. So in our sim location, this will be aisle 35 drop zone. And this is what we have for our drop zone. It's just a pallet. We'll call this a pallet drop. Oh no, sorry. We just call this a pallet pod. But the location is going to be aisle 35 drop zone. Because remember, the smallest aisle number is what we name it. So this would be aisle 35 drop zone. And this is a pallet drop. So this is our pallet drops. Pallet drops is just a bunch of pallets stacked on each other, usually 5 or 6. We have 5 right here. It's gonna be like kind of like up to your knee level. And then you just you can sell stuff that's maybe the clearance, some stuff that you can't sell through. That definitely is a higher up decision. So if you guys need to make pallet drops, you guys should have house wrap. Just wrap it around and then staple every part of it to make sure it stays. But these are called pallet drops. These do not have sim locations. So yeah, maybe your store will be different, but we don't have sim locations for these. So this is a good example of a bay where I can show you guys how to read a POG. So I already took out the planogram out of the sleeve, but basically the planogram will have a lot of stuff on it that may seem confusing at first, but once you guys get good at reading stuff, it's gonna be super easy. You can see all your numbers. All these numbers will be matched to the right side of the planogram. As you can see, all these have location ID numbers, and they just match right exactly to these numbers right here. So let's see the POG again, the bay again. You see every cube or every space is a new item. It just matches exactly like this. You can just match it to, but just match it right there to all these numbers right here. So, for example, let's see, number 37 right here is going to be number right here. This is 37, and so forth. So 37, 37 to, let's see, what does that say? 51. So this would be 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51. So 51 would be this last one right here. It's just going to match exactly. And for resets, when you guys are setting it, that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to have to match exactly the POG to the bay. And once again, you can see on the left side of it, you can see there is some weird fixture that does not look like what we are seeing. That is going to be those hooks right here, and these are called peg hooks. These peg hooks can these are called peg hooks. So you can just take them out like this, and this is what a peg hook will look like from the side. And peg hooks come in various sizes. There's 4-inch, 6-inch, 8-inch, 10-inch, 12-inch, and then maybe a 14-inch where you rarely see it. But yeah, the most common ones are going to be 4 inches to 8 inches. We have peg hooks. You install them, go up, and move the ones above it up, and then just hook it into the hole. And that's how you set it. You're just gonna have to get hands-on experience of setting it, but that's how you set it pretty much. And for peg hooks, always start from the, if you can, always start from the bottom up. If you can, when you're starting a new reset, have all the top peg hooks removed, or all the peg hooks removed. If it's a big reset, everything changes. Have all the top peg hooks removed, and then start setting the peg hooks on the bottom. Because when you install a peg hook, you always have to lift up the peg hook on top to get it out, and that's how you get it out. And if you don't lift it up, there's really a lot of less wiggle room to install it. So you're gonna have to lift it up and install it. For your convenience, you can always also just put the peg hooks in first and then stock the products later. But then you'll not know your spacing. So this comes with a little experience if you want to do it a little bit easier. It is completely up to you guys how to install peg hooks, but this is how you install peg hooks. So this bay is a peg hooks, and then these are called dump bins. There's two types of dump bins. There's dump bins in the bay, and then there's flex dump bins, which is in front of the others. And there's this type of dump bins. It's in the bay, and there's another called a dump bin. That's for the drop aisles. basically that is how do you read the POG. And then another part of this POG is the tubes or the piping up top. So you can see up here. So you can see there's piping up here. What that just reflects is all the piping that's up here. But yeah. So most resets, when you guys do a reset, there's not gonna be huge changes. If there are huge changes, your MSM will probably tell you about it, and you'll just know from the POG there's a lot of changes. But yeah, that's how to read a planogram, also known as the POG. All right. So this is the more common called dump bin. You'll usually see them in the cleaning aisles. This is where you sell like really small stuff, like cheap stuff. Dump bins will also be like over here in paint. Just a lot of places where you can find dump bins. This is called dump bins. So the difference between an aisle and a bay. So this is an entire aisle. Both sides are considered aisle 40. Okay, aisle 40. And a bay will be marked with these signs up here, and these are called bay markers. Alright, so this would be a bay, that would be a bay, that single one will be a bay, and every of them will be a singular bay. And that is the difference between a bay and an aisle, which is pretty simple to comprehend. An aisle is the whole aisle, and a bay is just one part of it. And they're always going to be an upright, and these uprights, these are called uprights. Okay, these are uprights, and these are beams. These are beams, and these are called decking. All right, these are called decking. This one is on it, but they can lift it out, and this will be covered in the reset portion of the video. All right, so this is the seasonal flex area. You can see that is our seasonal flex area. And then straight out will be our garden. Depending on your store layout, your garden should be right next to your seasonal flex. But your seasonal flex will have all the seasonal stuff. In the Halloween time and Christmas time, this is going to be all season, holiday related stuff. So I have some photos. Last year we had our Halloween stuff here, and following in Christmas, this whole aisle will be Christmas stuff. This will be Christmas stuff. All the patio stuff will be removed, but the grills will stay. So these are called your end caps. All of these are called end cap fronts because this is the front of the store. This will be out the store. These will be called your end cap fronts, and likewise on the back side of these aisles are called end cap backs. So you can have two sets of end caps. So for this front half of the store, you can have your front and back end caps, and the other half of the store you can have your other aisles front end cap and back end caps. And this is also going to be applied to smaller end caps in front of tool world. However, these right here, these two places, these are going to be called our side caps. So this would be a side cap of this bay. So if you scan the location on this one, this will show up as bay 68, aisle 68, bay 4, side cap left. So this is a side cap of this is the left side cap of this bay. And likewise for this side, this would be 64 bay 2, or sorry, aisle 68 bay 2, side cap right. So that's the difference of these. These cannot be called end caps because there's two of these, and these are all called side caps. Another thing about the end caps is this is called aisle 17 end cap front, because end caps are counted by the lowest aisle number. So this will be aisle 17 end cap front and not 18. Another thing is that side caps also exist on these end caps. So this will be called side cap left of aisle 17, and the buckets on the right side is called aisle 17 end cap right. The buckets, they're going to usually be simmed to every one of these end caps, except maybe like a big fixture like this one. That will be simmed instead of the buckets. Alright, now we are going to talk about top stocking procedures. So these are 4x2 labels. You just need to write the item number, quantity number, and then how deep the boxes are. So the first number right there is quantity. So that's 4 of those items in each box. And then number next to it, it says ×2. It just means there's 2 of them stacked deep. I don't know if it's a little bit clear in the video, but that's 1 deep and that's 2 deep. So that's why they wrote quantity 4 × 2. That just means every elevation is going to be at least 8 items. Okay? That's how you top stock single boxed item. You generally don't want to write the item number on the box. You just want to write on a 4x2 label. That's more clear. And then just remember, if it's a singular item, you can just go to, as you remember earlier, to top stock something. You get the item number. For singular items only, that's a singular item, like the singular product. You can just go put in the item number and scroll down, and then you go to check-in inventory, and then you just scan the top stock barcode. And then I don't know if you can see really well, but yeah, you just press complete, and that's it. That's how you scan in something singular. However, now let's go to the next items. So this is how you scan something that's like this is how you top stock stuff that's like really multiple quantity items. So for example, these items right here, right, these boxes, you can see they have some placard on this. And this is what you want to do for items that have a lot of items inside the box. So you just write the item number and the quantity number, and that's it. You just tape it up. To print these out, if you can, search through link. It's going to be called Pallet placard. Just look in the search bar and search a Pallet placard. It should be like one of the first few results. If not, ask your MSM. And if they still don't know, just go to receiving office. They should have a lot of these papers are lying around. But yeah, these ones you'd use the bulk check-in feature and through the products app. So for the bulk check-in, you just scan the top stock location in products app, and it's just gonna pull up that location. It's gonna pull up our top stock location details. You go to our bottom and press check in items, and then we just press the search icon up here, and then we just go for it. We just type in all the product numbers, and then yeah. Alright, so I just typed all 3 of the item numbers in. Now all 3 of them are scanned in, or sorry, typed in. It's gonna be that box. As of right now in 2026, there's no feature to add like a quantity or notes, which I think is going to be a really helpful addition. Hopefully that in the future, but in the meantime, you can only have this and you can't write anything details. So you just check in inventory and it'll just check into the top stock. There'll be no other information besides that. So if I'm looking for an item and I'm looking for one of those items, it will just say the next location, and besides the home is going to be in this top stock location. And yeah, just remember pallet placards, you just go ask your receiving office or receiving, figure out how to print it out and link. And also these boxes are called 99 boxes. So we get these boxes through our receiving freight teams. They just send these boxes with miscellaneous items. It's most likely for Tool World, however it could be any other stuff. So when freight team is done with these boxes, they get stored somewhere in receiving. Just go ask your receiving associates and see where these 99 boxes are. So the 99 boxes just are all the same size and have these special handles on the side, and they're really useful to top stock small items. For example, these small items, if they need to be top stocked after a reset, they're really useful. So get familiar with where you need to get that 99 boxes. And also, before you ever top stock anything, always just familiarize, just look around and see if it matches the area. The general rule of thumb is to only top stock, the top stock location only can be the stuff that's in the bay. However, that's not always the case. Just ask your associates or MSMs or even the department supervisor. So this is how to service a bay. This is really important for you guys. So some of you guys might be placed on service team for the duration of MST. So this is how to service. So on Zebra, go to MST app, go to the home page. Just go to the home page, which is this. But yeah, home page. What you can do is it's just super easy. Just scan the scanning barcode, which is a blue one, and then it's gonna show you this. I'm gonna go step by step everything I do in service. So this is the first screen. So through this you can go through a few options. You can see So the first option is you can see who serviced it last. And next thing you can see is the aisle number and the bay number. So this is aisle 52, bay 4. And this is the department name, building materials. And there's 2 barcodes. If you click on it, you can see that there is 2 barcodes. That is the standing and the top stock. So that first one is the one we scanned. It is highlighted in blue because that's the barcode I scanned. And the top stock barcode is that one right here. So if you want to reprint the barcode, this is also important. You go down here. Oh my goodness. Alright. If you go down here to reprint barcodes, you can go and just tap it and go print it. So this one has no queue, so if you print it right now, it's just gonna go print directly to the label printers. So if I press print, right, you can just go either scan it or queue or print it directly. You cannot queue any of these. And once you're done, if you open pricing app right now, like for example, I just finished it. If I open pricing app, oops, sorry, it's gonna you have to always once you're done printing it, if you open MST app, it's gonna go back to pricing app, which is annoying. You just have to press the back arrow a few times. Another thing is edit space. So if you edit space, you can edit the aisle number, the bay number. You can add a child standing barcode, which is a side cap or a side stack or side cap. You can figure out stuff like that. You can click it and press add standing barcode or placing barcode, and then you can just scan a new label. And the new labels, you guys should ask your MSM where they are once you need it, but most likely for service you will not need to do any of this stuff, so I'll just exit out because I don't need to do it. But yeah, once you have a reset on something like this, just ask your MSM for a little bit more help, just because it's a little bit more store specific. So let's go back. So next thing is you can see the planogram. The planogram down here will say construction hardware, the DB key, and you can view items in your planogram. However, you want to do that in the computer because it's very slow on the zebras. But yeah, let's go back out. So we can start service. So once we press start service, it's gonna ask us to scan the label, scan the standing barcode one more time. So once we scan it, it's gonna go directly to this map. So this map just asks you to confirm if the location is correct. I actually have genuinely no clue where all this information goes, but basically just make sure it looks about right, and you just press yes. If it's no, if you press no, then you can just select any bay on here and find the right one. So I know, but earlier ours was correct, so just scan it right there and just press confirm. And if you cannot find the location, just ask your MSM if that really matters for your store. Our store doesn't really care about that as much, because there are some parts of the map where it's a little bit glitchy. And alright, so now we can go to planogram verification. We can go planogram verification, and then we can just scan the planogram. So once we scan the planogram, it's gonna automatically go to this page. It's going to exit out now. Now it's going to ask us to take a pre-service photo, and pre-service photo just means just take a photo right before you start servicing. So for me, I always take my photos from this angle, from an angle like this, so I can see everything. So what I'm doing right now is just take a photo, make sure it focuses, click it, and it just saves like that. You can only take one photo for you can only take one photo. Upload. And now let it load. Alright. So now we can start scanning out. Let's click planogram accuracy. Planogram accuracy. So for planogram accuracy, you not only do you want to scan every label, you also want to scan your upright J hooks, the J hooks, and if there is a side stack, for example, that one over there. For example, if there's a side stack in my bay, I would also have to scan the side stack in. So I was servicing that. If I was servicing that bay, I would have to scan that bay, that side stack. So once we start scanning barcode, just remember, scan in your J hooks and scan in your side stacks. anything that you do not scan will get checked out. And what that means is that if there's a J-hook right there and it's not checked, if you don't scan it, it's going to be checked out, and that J-hook right there will have no location. That actually is not a J-hook. That is a fancy fixture. That is technically part of a resets if they do get added, but we still call them J-hooks pretty much. But yeah, that is a J-hook right there. If that doesn't get scanned, just remember that location will not appear anywhere. And then the department supervisor, if they were trying to find that product, if they can't find it, they're just going to bill it out, and that's going to be affecting your store's shrink score. So just remember, scan in your side stacks, scan in your J-hooks every single service, both sides of the upright. So that's and that. All right. And first, for your first scan, it's going to be a little bit slow. So it's going to load for maybe like 2 or 3 seconds. But once after that 2 or 3 seconds, you can just start scanning pretty fast. You don't want to do too fast because the zebra won't recognize it. And that's the method I like to do. I snake it through, so I go down first elevation, second elevation, third elevation, fourth elevation, fifth elevation. I just snake my scan. It's a little easier for me. Another reason why I snake through the while scanning is I know I didn't miss anything. That's just another thing. If I do like rows like that, it's just gonna take a lot of energy. It really depends on your work ethic and how you want to do it. But snaking definitely works for me. So now once I scanned everything, I can just press get accuracy results, and then I can see that I have one missing item right here. It just means I either didn't scan it or it's just not in the bay. You can see right here, there's some details on it. Location 35, there's only one facings and there's 19 on hands. And that location ID only matches to the planogram. It does not match the bin numbers of the price tags. So, if you don't know your bays that well, you just look through your POG again. And it says location ID 35. So, I guess they didn't update this yet, but basically, in our old POGs, everything started from 1, but now they changed it, so every time it continues off the next bay of a set, it just continues from the last number of the bay. So this location number actually has no meaning on this anymore, so I guess that's kind of useless. What you can do is just scan everything around the area of number 35. So 35 will just be the 35th location. Or another thing you can do is just remember the price and just look for a price. This one's $32.50. I'll just look for a $32.50 label. It's right here. So it's gonna be right here. Okay. So I guess I didn't scan it. What happens either from that is I scanned too fast, or I just didn't scan it. But basically, just once you go here, just exit out. Oh, another thing actually, before I exit out, if you cannot find it, and if it's in the bay, and you see that the item is there and the pricing tag isn't there, what you can do is press the print pricing label. So what this will do is it brings you to this screen, planogram accuracy. So what you can do from here is update by size and update all. If you do update all, it would be individual. You just press the size you want. However, I only have one. If I have a different example, I'll show you. But update by size. So what this does is that it will give every single label that you need to print the same default size. So you're gonna have to click all of them. So we just default them all to 0. It's just good practice. And I know that this is a 2x1 label, so you just press 1 on the 2x1 label, and then we just press save. Now, if you can see, it's the first number on the 2x1 is 1, and we just press Q labels, and we can just go print. However, I'm not going to print it because I don't need it because it's already there. But is one example. Always have 100% accuracy rate. If you do not get a 100% accuracy rate, then figure out what is wrong. Talk to your MSM, see what they're saying. see if they want you to figure it out, set it correctly. But yeah, always get your 100% accuracy score. So for us right now, I exited out. Let's just go exit out one more time, pressing the back arrow, and now you can go scan the item. Once we scan the items, you press get accuracy results, and it's going to bring you to this screen. It's going to give you the planogram accuracy. I get 100%, and I know it's going to be 100% because we just had a reset on this recently, so I know that this will be a good bay. So yeah, we can go down here, over here again. There's some metrics down here. It says, let's see, 59 items scanned in POG, which just means that there is 59 items that are in the POG that I just scanned. I don't know if that's a little bit clear or not. 0 items not scanned in POG, that is our deducted from score. 0 items not scanned in POG, 0 items not scanned in POG, not deducted from score. That is anything that is clearance or an inactive product. If you don't scan it, it's fine. It won't affect your score. And then I have 3 things that says 3 items scanned not in POG. Most likely what that is our J-hooks, because these J-hooks look like they're not in the POG. And I guess 2 other things that got flexed in, or maybe, sorry, the 2 other items over here on this J-hook. So this one does not really matter that much, so don't worry about this. Only thing that really matters is the red ones. So earlier, remember, it says -1. So yeah, that's the only thing. Alright, next, once we're done with that, we just press continue. It just says this action will check in out items. Scanned items will be checked in, and not scanned items will be checked out. That's what we're talking about earlier. Just press continue, and that's load. Now we're done. We can go down stocking. So down stocking is filling anything that is missing in our bay. So we have one item down there that's missing. So this is another part of talking to your MSM. If you have to do a lot of bays in one day, you won't have a lot of time to down stock. And this is just something you have to talk to your MSM if you guys have to down stock or not. For us, we do down stock if it's really empty. For us, it's just that one item right there. If we can find it, then we'll down stock it. But if we can't find it, then we'll just do something called faking the down stock. So another thing is down stocking. There is a metric for every store of how many items you have to down stock per bay. Our district is around 6 bays, 6 down stocked items per bay. And you can do a little bit more, but try not to do anything less than 6 bays. Anything less than 6 bays will affect your store's score, and that's not going to be good. So what we can do is we're going to do 1 actual down stock, and then maybe around like 5 what we say is like a fake down stock, because you can see this bay is pretty stacked, and we don't really need to do any down stocking on it. So what we're going to do is going to go to the down stock menu, and we're just gonna scan the items we have to down stock. So for the items that I do want to down stock first, down stock is I just scan it first. Let's see. So now I scanned my first item right here. You can zoom in. Sorry, focus. You can see it. Now I will scan in 5 more items to down stock. So we have a total of 6 down stocked items. Doesn't matter what item. So now our list will say 6 items in stock. So if I scan an item that is not in stock, it will appear on the bottom. It says view items 0 not in stock. Most things will have a stock item, but you'll see it if you ever service it. I'm not gonna do an example because I'm not gonna try to find that. But yeah, so once we down stock it, you just press the item, and let's see. You can see that this one has no locations to down stock from. So this is 0 locations. That just means 0 locations other than this bay to down stock from. And what we can do to this is do our fake down stock. So basically, essentially what we're doing is we're gonna check this into the bay, and we're gonna delete the inventory. So we can just do, let's just show you. So you have to always press the box. So then we scan either the top stock location of this bay or any barcode around the store, or any barcode in the store. You cannot scan the location barcode of the, you cannot scan the standing barcode of the bay you're servicing. It's just gonna show you an error message. But yeah, let's go scan the standing barcode, the selling top stock barcode. Oh my goodness. So what this does is it's gonna check it in pretty much, and then at the bottom it says all inventory removed from this location. You just press yes, because if you can think about it a little bit, it just means that you're scanning it in to the top stock location, and there's actually nothing up there, and it just says all inventory removed from location. So it's just like it's just never existed pretty much. If you just think about it, it makes a little bit more sense. So all inventory removed from this location, yes, and the down stock complete, and then you just do it for the rest of them. So let's go back. And do the same thing. All inventory removed from this location, just press yes, down stock complete, and yeah. Another thing is to note is to never press the unable to locate inventory. What that does is it just forfeits your down stock count. So instead of 6 items you scan, if you press in the unable to locate inventory and press down stock complete, what it will say is what it will count in metrics is there's only 5 items you downstocked in the service, and that is not our 6 downstocked items per bay. That is not good. So never press this button. So let's continue. So the reason why I said that we should scan the items that we want to downstock first is that once you scan through everything, this is the first item we just scanned. So this will be at the bottom of our downstock list, if that kind of makes sense. Because every time you scan something, it just stacks on top of it. It'll just stack on top of top. And so once we finish that pile of downstocked items up there, this is our last item, which is the first item we just scanned. So this is what we want to actually downstock. So this one actually has a location, which is good. That means we can actually downstock it. So this is top stock building area, BM, that stands for building materials. You're gonna have to get used to all the abbreviations. You'll probably figure out pretty quickly. Let's just see. Some ones that kind of makes a little bit weird sense is the RP and FP. FP stands for fashion plumbing. RP stands for rough plumbing. There's also RE and FE, fashion electrical and rough electrical. And just rough just means like light bulbs, and the fashion kind of means like the lights and chandeliers. But yeah, let's go. So this actually has location. So what we're gonna do is just downstock it. Now this is a good opportunity to show you how to use a ladder. It's how convenient. There is a ladder right here. It's not like I put it there anyways. So let's go grab this ladder, and then I'll show you guys how to use it. And actually I'll show you guys how to use the ladder as well. So to use a ladder, for all sides of the ladder, there's going to be a step on here. It says step to lift. Just all the way down. Press it all the way down. Now it's all going to move. So what I usually do. What I usually do is I just, let's see, I'm going to update my email. I just move the ladder to like a rough area of the location, and because I need to see where the product is. So to step it, to push down the ladder, I need to change my angle again. You just pretty much, you just put some weight on the first step, and it'll drop down, and that's secure now. So that just means it's on the ground. Okay. These ladders are really easy to use. It's just moving them around is a kind of pain, especially in the tighter aisles. But let's go up. Remember the ladder safety trainings and your orientation and whatnot. 3 points of contact. However, if you have your hands are not free, you can use like maybe your leg to like really put some weight on it. It kind of counts like 3 points of contact. This is up to you guys, but try to be low safe. So. In my zebra, I have the item number in my zebra right now, so I just know what to look for. Okay? And if you want to, you can exit out And you can go to the products page and scan some barcodes if you need to. But usually they will be labeled, so that's something you look for. I just found the product, as you can see the item number right there. What you want to do, so I just found the product, and the quantity says 20. Okay, the quantity says 20, and if we saw the empty location at the bay right there, we look at our zebra again. And we can only see that there is only 23 on hands. And if there's only 20 in this box, that just means there's no more in this area. So what we can do is just right here, we can just check this out. So we click it right here, and all the inventory removed from the location. This one actually really matters. There's a yes and no right here. So if you press no, that means this location will still exist. This top stock location will still be checked in. And that is important if there's multiple boxes of this item and you only took like one box out. However, I just took the last box out, so what this means is all inventory removed from this location. I would press yes, and that would check it out. So down stock complete. Now all 6 of my down stocks are already complete. Another thing you need to check before you down stock anything is use your grabby stick, and check in the location behind it. If there's anything in the back of it, we'll grab it out. Sometimes freight team will just push a lot of boxes in, so if you don't check the behind of it, the product might already be in there. So this one clearly does not have anything down there, so we should be fine. So I'm gonna just show you how to open a box, I guess. So this box says do not cut. It says use a tear strip. So I'm gonna just use a tear strip. So if you need to cut, use your low safety knife to cut. Alright, so this is pretty important for servicing. So if I just found let's just say I found this part on the ground, so it looks like it's in the wrong spot. Like, I just found it, pretend I found it right there. So what we can do is use the bin number tool, or just bin numbers to find it. And for us, you just scan, go to pricing app first, and you just scan the barcode. So in the pricing app, your bin number right here, your 52, aisle 52, bay 4, location 79. That is the most important part, because we already, sorry, the bay number and the location number. So we know that's bay 4, but however, it could be a different aisle, it could be a different bay. We don't know that. But yeah, just check your aisle number, bay number, and location 79. So this is a very daunting bay. Looks pretty big, right? So we got to go closer and we'll just have to figure it out. So we have a product, right? You can see some of them will have, most of them should have the bin numbers. However, some labels will have the bulk saving signs instead, a bulk saving portion of it, which takes up the whole thing. So it's kind of annoying. But if they don't have the bulk savings, you'll see that there is going to be a location number, bay 4, location 33. So this is 79. So I just go down. I just look around the 70s areas, and then we'll see 79. This is where the product goes. Another thing you guys might have noticed is that all the bin number locations are odd numbers. They always are going to skip the even numbers. So that's the reason for that is that this is more like for red vest. If you guys need to add a new product into the bay, like a clearance item, you can adjust the bin numbers by adding an even number. So if I wanted to add a clearance item in between these two products, I would locate that number as location 78, because this is 79, right? I'll bay 4, location 79, correct? And this is location 77. So if I add a 78 in the middle right here, I can theoretically put anything in. However, this is a little bit rare because that's just more of a red vest thing, not for us to do. But it's there if you need to know, if you need to do it. All right, let's go back to servicing. So if we go back to servicing app, we can see that we finished our planogram verification, our pre-service photo completed, planogram accuracy completed at 100%, downstock completed, we did our 6 downstock, and our post-service photo is last. So the thing you guys have to know is the amount of time and amount of bays you have to do in a day. So this is going to also be another metric that servicing has to follow. This is more of an MSM thing to tell you, but basically every day or every week you're gonna have to meet a metric of say for example like maybe like 400 bays for a team. So what that means is that the team will have to complete that metric. And what an MSM will do is split that 400 bays into 5 days. So 400 bays divided by 5 is going to be 80 bays per day. Right? 400 divided by 5 days. So that's 80 bays per bay. 80 bays per day. So, and then the MSM will split it down even more. Like maybe your service team is like 4 people. So that is 20 bays per day. That 20 bays is going to be for each person. So that's what the MSM will do to figure out how many bays you got to do. So if the MSM tells you have to do 20 bays in a day, it should also tell you how long your bays should be, but it's also kind of up to you to figure it out as well. So 20 bays per day is going to be, let's just say 20 divided by 8 hours. So that's going to be, it's going to be 20 bays divided by 8 hours, which is 8 times 8 hours, which is going to be in minutes. So it'll be 80 times 6, 80 times 6, 8 times 60, 8 hours times 60 minutes. So okay, never mind. Alright, so the amount of time to spend on a bay is going to be up to your MSM to figure out. So, that is not up to you, it's going to be up to your MSM. So, if they say 20 minutes per bay, by your experience, you guys should also know 20 bays per day, you guys will know by experience how long it will take. Usually, it will be around 20 minutes to 25 minutes per bay, but your MSM will tell you on the week how many bays to service. And what I recommend is getting a tally app on your phone. If you have an Apple Watch or any watch, like a smartwatch, you should have an app that can count, because the amount of bays you do cannot be kind of shown in the servicing app. So you're gonna have to just count it on a different device. So for today, I will have like, I don't care about how long I do, because this is for example, but I will have to submit this anyways. So another thing before you leave is there's 2 options at the bottom. Oh, well, actually one. It's gonna be grayed out right now. Is your pause service. So if you pause the service, the time will not count, and that's important because, for example, if you need to use the bathroom and you go to lunch, you don't want your service to keep counting, because this service will keep counting for 4 hours until it pauses itself, and that is really bad, because if your service continues to tick to 4 hours, your metrics can get destroyed. So this is actually a common issue for not only servicing but resets as well. If you don't pause it, the clock will keep ticking. So if you don't pause it, that's not good. But yeah, so just that's your pause. So if you press pause, it's gonna be a few options. It really does not matter. It's just more like an MSM to see what you're doing. So it's gonna pause reasons. Select a reason to pause. Lunch, meeting, training, starting another task, and if shift break. Does not really matter. I usually just do starting another task and confirm. I think I clicked the pause button a few times. So this is my this is just like the home screen again. So for example, you just lost your bay. There is a way to, if you remember the bay, you can do a way to figure it out. However, I'm gonna just show you the first way. So if you exit out of it, you just scan the blue barcode again. If you just scan the blue barcode again, it'll bring you right back and you can resume service. Alright, another way to service it, to find a bay without scanning it, if for example you have a printer and you accidentally exit out, scroll all the way down, additional services, you click it, and usually it will work in to do. If it doesn't, you can just press done as well. But go to do, filter, and you press in the aisle number, and 52, check mark, apply, and it will show you all of the bays under aisle 52. And as you can see, I have 52, bay 4 right here. You click it, and I just press resume service. A way to check if you actually pause it or not is, for example, if you just left it, the difference is it says continue service. That is different. So if it says continue service, that means you did not pause it. So let me show you again. It will say resume service if I go out. So it's resume service if that is I paused it. Okay. So now let's do a post service photo, and we'll be done. Post photo. Just upload, and then once you're done with that, you can go down here, service completion validation. So this is another thing about your MSM and DMSM. Depending how your MSM wants it, you can just click all the buttons. That's what our MSM tells us to do. Just click all the buttons. If you want, you can read through it, but just it's just like a checklist of all the things you have done. Another thing is add comment. That is also a thing if you ask your MSM if you guys want to add comments or not. We don't add our comments in because there's nothing really comment about. But yeah, we can just press confirm, and then we're pretty much done. Once we press submit service complete, then we're done. However, another thing is before you take your photo, because once you take your photo, the MSM can see your timestamps. So if an MSM sees you took your photo, you start your service at, for example, like 8:17 a.m. and then you just did all these really quickly for 5 minutes, and you did your photo at 8:20 a.m. That's just like that they'll see the timestamps. They can see that you did not service it for 20 minutes, and that's bad because you want to make the bay look pretty. That's the whole point of servicing. You want to this bay is pretty nice already, but make sure all your boxes are right against the edge of the beams. That's called front facing, and also there's also called zoning for red vests. So for us, we just call front facing. We put everything to the front. All right, that's how we front face. But some bays will be a little bit uglier than this one. So just remember front face, and if you need, use a stick to grab the stuff from the back and just hook it. Okay. But as I was saying earlier, if the timestamps are visible to the MSM, so don't think that you can just take a photo of your bay and just say, and then just wait for another like 15 minutes and just press service complete from a different area. That's not gonna work. You have to actually service for the 20 minutes. Another thing you can do is so just remember, service 20 minutes, or service how many minutes your MSM will tell you to, and then once you're done with the minutes, take the photo of the bay and then do the check marks, and then your MSM will see that this is blank amount of time away from this from the starting time. Okay, so you cannot cheat on service like that. That's not good. So once you're done, service complete, Just press it, and it will tell you how many minutes you serviced. So I guess I serviced here for 36 minutes already. But yeah, you want to be a little bit quicker than 36 minutes. That's not good for us. But yeah. Another thing is, if you join someone else's service, both your times will count towards this total time. And that's also not going to be good because, for example, if I start this service, I did like 10 minutes and I didn't pause it, and someone else joins this service, what happens is that both people's service hours will count towards it. So if I put in 10 minutes and someone joined at the 10-minute mark and they did 10 minutes, it'll be a total of 30 minutes in the bay because I put in 10 minutes, I didn't pause it, and I did another 10 minutes while they did another 10 minutes. A little bit confusing to say on camera, but total will be 30 minutes because everyone's minutes will count towards this. And this is the same thing for service. Your service hours and your reset hours will all be combined with the amount of people that joined the service. So once you're done, you just press done, and then you can just go find another bay to service. And if your MSM told you where you need service, or they have assigned you service areas, then do that. If they haven't, just see what your MSM tells you, because every store is a little bit different. We just service whatever we get assigned first, and if it's not assigned, we just see what our MSM wants us to service, and if they don't know, we just find some easy bays to service. You don't have to necessarily do the hardest bays. If you have time, definitely do the hardest bays. It will help the department a lot, but 20 minutes is not a lot of time. And another thing to remember is it's not a strict 20 minutes, because you can do maybe like a really fast bay, like maybe a 5-minute bay, and you can compensate with the next bay that like do a 35-minute bay. So that'd be total would be 40 minutes for 2 bays, and which is just equivalent to 20 minutes per bay. Okay, it's not the time that counts, it's the amount of bays that counts. Another thing, well, it could count in the future, but just see what your MSM says. Let's see. As a part of the reset team, you will have way more tools than the service team, because reset teams have to do a lot of heavy work, heavy lifting, and a lot of work. So the first tool that that you guys definitely need is your Lowe safe knife. The next 2 tools you'll be needing is a Phillips and a flathead screwdriver. The Phillips head screwdriver is actually going to be used for regular screws. However, the flathead screwdriver is going to be used for changing elevation on beams. Next thing you need is clear tape. You can have the attachment to the cutter attachment, or just by the roll itself, and have the scissor next to it. Next is double-sided tape. This could be billed out from your store, or they can be also sent in resets. For mine, I got these sent through resets. Next is scissors. Get a good pair of scissors, because you'll be using the scissors a lot every single day. Another one is important is zip ties. You will be needing a lot of zip ties as well for resets. Preferred is 11-inch zip ties. The 8-inch zip ties usually are a little bit too short for heavy work, but 8-inch zip ties you can always double stack. And for any MSM watching, I do highly recommend billing out one of these guys, the 1,000 count 8-inch ones. You guys can just leave it in your bay, and then you can bunch them up like this and give it to every MSA. Next is mud flaps, and these are these flappy things, and they are used under beams on the lowest elevation to have a 4x2 beam label. Another is a good clipboard to carry all your reset papers and documents. This is my clipboard. Is in the security bays, security and lock set bays. But yeah, this is where you're going to keep a lot of your documents on. You can get a regular clipboard from like a Office Depot or somewhere like that. But yeah, this is the one we have in store. You know, open up, put stuff in it. I have a bunch of my stuff in there. Next thing are the POG pouches, and they come in 2 sizes. So there's the regular POG pouches, the outdoor POG pouches, which have a zipper on the bottom. Next is some blank beam and bin labels for writing item numbers if needed. They will definitely come in handy. You can also use them like a post-it note with a Sharpie. Next would be a Sharpie. I like the Sharpie Pro versions because they're flat and you can like put it in your pockets. However, I definitely do not recommend putting them in your pockets because if they leak, they will get all over your pants, and definitely happened to me before. And any color is fine, but preferred black. And then once again, you definitely need a grab stick, the one of the plastic or the metal scrapers, Sharpie pen or a regular pen, tape measure, and this is the most important tools I use every day. And to carry them, definitely grab a shopping cart. And this is a MST pouch. They can be ordered through, I think, supply ordering. And yeah, they're pretty nice. You can put your tape around this loop. And yeah, you can put a bunch of stuff in here, pens and whatnot. Personally, I hook them up to the shopping cart. I just put it on the side of it, just let it hang. I highly do not recommend putting it on your belt because this will rip. Alright, next is going to be some tools that you would get from the MST bay. There's a lot of tools. First, for elevation changes, you highly need these tools. C-clamps, mallet, a good ratchet socket set, impact driver or a drill, wrenches, an adjustable wrench, magnetic screw holder found in the mechanics bays, and lastly, a knee pad. Alright, this is my cart. So this is where I put my clipboard, my water bottle. I forgot to mention earlier, but yes, a trash can is definitely needed. For our store, we are allowed to use regular Lowe's buckets as trash cans. However, if they do get dirty, just get a Clorox wipe and just wipe it down before you put it back into stock. This is my toolbox. I bought this toolbox from another store, so this is not from our store, from Lowe's, I mean. Yeah, I have my tapes. I keep my mud flaps there. It's a bunch of tools, so just a lot of tools. Just most of these are personal, so you have to buy your own tools or definitely get your MSM permission to bill out tools. If you don't bill out the tools, you are definitely doing something bad, and that is not good. Just bill out your tools, bill out all the stuff you need before you use them, or you just purchase it yourself. But yeah, you can always sell. There's some Cobalt ones, Cobalt branded toolbox or tool chest or Craftsman ones. The DeWalls are pretty expensive. There's also a bucket cover that has like tool patches on it. I personally don't like it. But yeah, this is my tools. I have a bunch of tools here. For resets, highly recommend getting some boots. Definitely get like good quality boots. Preferably get composite or steel toe boots because there will be times where you'll be doing hard resets where you need to lift stuff, and if they fall on your foot, they're gonna hurt a lot. So I have composite toe boots from Red Wings. I'm gonna go a little bit more in detail about my boots. Boots are shoes are the most important part of MST because you'll be standing there the whole day. You can't wear any type of sneakers. Just remember to buy some good insoles. I highly prefer getting work insoles because you'll be walking a lot every single day and your feet will be hurting. I can guarantee you that. If you don't walk a lot in a day, yeah, your feet will be hurting. I average personally 10,000 to 15,000 steps a day. But yeah, when there's a lot of hard resets, there I can go up to 17 to 20,000 steps. And yeah, good pair of work insoles and good pair of boots or sneakers will definitely help. You can get some loose pants, you can get some jeans, you can get some cargo pants, whatever it is. Don't get sweatpants because that is against store policy and they will rip when you do something bad. And yeah, your vest. I personally keep my pens and Sharpies and small stuff in my left vest pocket. In my right side pocket, there's three pockets technically. I keep my tissues because I have a lot of allergies in my first pocket, so this is my clean pocket. Second, there's a middle one, there's a hidden one kind of, is a pen pocket. I never use it, it really stabs you once you start crouching a lot. And your third pocket, my third pocket on my right side, I use it as my trash. Because there's a lot of times where you have trash and you just need to carry something. Another stuff that would definitely help you resets, are gloves. Gloves actually is something that you definitely need, Lowe safe gloves. Alright, so whenever you mark down something, today I just marked it down, like bill out or mark down for store use, always cross out the label, make sure it's unscannable, and write MD and the date. So today is July or 3rd, and then 2/6. That's fine. Anything else like that. So when there's an audit, they make sure that you guys all have your stuff marked down. And for power equipment, it's something similar. You get red spray paint and you spray paint it to make sure it's marked down, and it can't really be used anywhere else other than the store. And that's the process of making sure they are marked down. Is once there's an audit and they see that you guys have a label that says that it's marked down, then it's going to be bad on you guys. Alright, so this is the process of going through our MST app called MST Portal on the computers. So there's 3 types of computers. There's this default one, or training room one. This is not the training room one, but you'll get the diff. I'll show you guys in a bit. But there's this type of computer. So you go to the top left corner on this side. It's gonna be the Lowe's, most top right. It's gonna say Lowe's Workplace in really tiny letters. So through the workplace, you can just log in, put your sales ID in, password, and then yeah, it's gonna load up. And what it's gonna load up is the Lowe's Workspace screen. And through this screen, you have a few updates. I never read this. This is just like news articles. This is what we want. The quick links. It's a little bit different on the other apps, on the other devices, but I'll show you. But the gist is the same. So for any reason, for any time you use a computer, always open up your email. This is email, right here. When you open up email, it's going to ask you, do you trust Lowe's.com? And that's important because this is how you automatically log into anything else. Because if you don't go through email first and press a continue, you're gonna be forced to log in through the app. Next, you'd go to MST Portal. However, there is I did customize this like earlier, like the zebra screen. Press the customize button up here, and you can see what apps you want. There might be 2 pages for you. There might be just 1. I don't know. But go to the MST Portal icon. You click it. And you have all your details of your store and whatnot. So this is basically the map of your store, and this is where you'll grab your pogs. This is where you'll find your recent information, and yeah, this is where you get a lot of information stuff. Alright, so through MST Portal, this is your default screen. So you just want to click over here, you want to click out, and then you click up your arrow. So this is your default screen. So if you can zoom in anywhere, and then you can see a bunch of bays, a bunch of aisles. If you click any of the bays, it's going to highlight black. So if you can see it's highlighted black, that means this bay is clicked. So from this, you can pull your planogram. But for you guys who are new to the store, who are not transfers, it's going to be taking a little bit while for you to understand where you are and what bays you are getting. So this is only one way to figure out to grab planograms. Alright, for beginners, I just want to see if, for example, you're servicing and you need to get a pod. For example, let's just say you're in the WD-40 bin. So you first just locate your aisle number to your store, and then once you find your aisle number, then you can find aisle numbers on the bottom row here. There's all the numbers here. So for our store, our WD-40 will be on aisle 15. It's going to be all the way towards the right. Sorry, aisle 16, all the way to our right. It's going to be somewhere in here. Okay, aisle 16. We know this aisle 16. Now you need to locate your set, and a set is if you remember in your training, is a few bays that are the same similar product, and they will all have the same planogram. So for us, I know that our WD-40 is going to be the last few bays. So there's all the bays right here. This is definitely more clear. But basically, I know that it's going to be somewhere around here, the W40. And this is one entire set. So there's 1 bay, 2 bays, 3 bays. So if I know that, if I know the WD-40, for example, it will be on the most left one. It doesn't really matter where I click. It can click in the first bay, the second bay, or the third bay. They all will pull up the same POG because this planogram is one. It's called automotive, and this is a 3-bay set. I think that's what it's called, a 3-bay set. So if I click on this one, it's going to pull up all 3 POGs anyways. So each bay has its own POG, right? That each bay has its own POG. That's something I need to say. So for this, you need to go to merchandise, live summary, and automotive. Sorry, the hyperlinked will be the POG. This is our automotive planogram. Once you just click it, you'll see a bunch of things. There's a lot of detail you need to take in. So let's just start with the basics. So basics is the first few pages, or we'll see in a bit. The first page is just a general summary. You really never need it. Same thing with the fixture bill. Fixture bill is also something you really don't need. So you can ignore it. But the bread and potatoes, or the meat and potatoes, I don't know if it's saying, is all this data. So this is a 3-bay set. So what that means is that there's going to be 3 separate planograms. However, it may be a little bit deceiving because you see a lot of things. However, planograms can have multiple pages. So for example, this one is one entire page. So this, you see, this one has the barcode, this one doesn't, this one doesn't. That means it's just a continuation. And for these ones, it's 2 pages for the same bay. So this is the barcode. So this first number is going to be the name of the POG. And you saw earlier, this is the name and number. Sorry, this is the number of the POG. It's called the DB key. It really isn't used unless you need to go to planogram verification. I'll show you in a bit. But this is important. So this, the second number is the bay of the set. The third number is how many bays are in the set. So this is the third bay of a 3-bay set. If I go to the next POG, as you can see, this is the same POG still, but this is just a different bay. So the first one, the first number of it never changes on the planogram because it's the same set, planogram set. However, this is the important part. The second number is 2, and the third number is 3. So this means this is the second bay of the 3-bay set. So how we would say is that this is bay 2 of 3. All right, and this one, the last one would be 1. This is the first bay of 3. So this would be bay 1 of 3. And to figure out how to get these numbers is important because if you put them in the wrong order, you're gonna get stuff wrong. This is important for reset. Let's go lamps. So you see, this is 1, 2, 3, and that's a 3-bay set. All right. So if I click on, let's just say the middle one, you go merchandise, you go to live summary. You can see our POG flow is 2. And if you're still a bit uncertain, you can also go to the fixture details. And it'll also say POG flow 2 down here. And yeah, the aisle sequence, that is not important, so just ignore it. But yeah. Another important thing on these is the graphics pages. So the first POG we pulled is the automotive one, and it didn't have any graphics numbers. This one will have graphics numbers. So graphics numbers are just any graphics you'll see in a bay, and we'll be seeing them shortly. But yeah, so graphics numbers right here. G number. So any number that starts with a G is going to be a graphics number. So this is just and we scroll down to our the bottom of it. We're going to see a separate area that they're going to be the same. So this is 1 of 3, right? If you go back up, this is also 1 of 3. So this is the actual planogram detail itself. If we go down, we're going to see the graphics pages. The graphics pages, graphics pages. So there's going to be 1 graphics page per bay. So this one's gonna be 1 of 3. Right here, 1 of 3. So the graphics page is important because it is a more clear version of the graphics numbers. Okay, so there's going to be also something called F number, which is fixture numbers. So a fixture number is something that is a fixture. In simple terms, it's something that is a display. It could be a display, it could be racking, it could be something that it could be a lot of things actually. It's just, you'll see more once you start, but that's what a fixture number is. And for this one, it looks like these two are the same, and this one is not the same, and these two are the same. For this one, I know what this is because I worked on it before. These are basically the stands for the lamps. And if you don't know what they are, you can always go to the right side of the POG, and then you can look up all the fixtures that is in the bay. So, for example, what we just saw is this number. You can display fixture right riser assembly. So it doesn't really make that much sense until you see it. But yeah, I just know that it's going to be the lamp fixture. Alright, and then a lot of the POGs are going to have issues like this where they keep the old numbers from previous POGs, and it just creates glitches like this. This is common, sometimes really annoying, but there's nothing we can really do. Just hope that they kind of fix it in the future. But this P number is the old F number. So anything that starts with P or DXF are really old. Probably maybe like 3-5 years ago. I personally have not. I personally rarely see these. I only see G and F numbers. All right, and then there's also RCK numbers. So let's just go over here one more time. So RCK stands for racking. Racking is the beams, uprights, and decking. And yeah, so decking comes into, there's inlay decking and waterfall decking. Alright, so there's a lot of stuff here. In our right side, this is in our graphics page, this is also similar to the fixture page in the front, so that's why we never use that. Alright, so description will have the fixture number or the racking number, the graphics number, and the display on the side. Now let's get to the more important part of POGs. Let's how to read a planogram. So, for example, let's take this POG. This is going to start in order because it's the first. This is going to be 1 of 3. It says 1 of 3, so this is going to be the first POG. So it's going to start at 1. It's going to start at 1. As we go on, this is 2 of 3. There's no 1. This just starts immediately from the last number here. So the last number here in the first bay is 1 of 3 is 25. So if you go back here, the first number that's going to be in this bay is going to be 26. It's going to be right here. Usually all the POGs go from left to right, however sometimes it's a little bit different. But yeah, 26 is going to be the first number of this bay, so it does not start from 1. And same thing for the 3 of 3. It's not going to start from 1. It's going to start from the number next to the last number of the previous bay. So the previous bay of 2 of 3 is 86. So we can safely assume that the third bay, where the 3 of 3, is going to start from 87. So sometimes it's also going to be a J hook. It could be a cutoff. So this is going to be 67. And if we're not sure, we can always go to the right side and we can make sure. Oh, sorry, 87. And you can make sure this is 87 and it's a J hook right here, 87. Alright, that's the numbers, and you just always just match the numbers to the right side. A planogram is just a map. Just think of that way, okay? Numbers, so for example, I want to say 78. Just go to the right side, just go down, next page, this is the same POG, be 78 right here. 574 2774. Now we know that this is going to be let's see, what is it? Allen Roth AR 29-inch gold buffet lamp. And then now next to the details, there's some more information. So there's type. So this is going to be a unit. Unit just means something we sell. Facings, as we talked about earlier, is just how many of it are there. So we can also see facings right here. So 86, what was that? Or 70, whatever. But this is one facing, one facing, one facing, one facing, one facing, one facing, right? But yeah, sometimes it could be double facings. For example, these are all, looks like all double face, right? So this is 1, 2, 4, like anything down here. You can see 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and this is all of these are double face. You can see the split down the middle. All right. So if we go down to the right side, we can see the facings are not 1 but 2, and that is apparent when we just look at the picture. Alright, so this would be example of facings. So this one you can see is location 1, 3, 3, 5, 5. So that means these two are double faced, these two are double faced. And then same with this. You can see 21, 23, 23, 25. That means the middle products are double faced. And this one down here is 49, 51, 51, 51, and then 53. That means that 51 item, this one, will be triple faced. So that's called facings, and facings are pretty important as well. Facings is the ones you can see in the pogs. On this right column, it will be under the facing column. And if you can, I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, the facing on the number facings will all be on the right column. Facings will also be in the photos. You can see that this is 2 of them and this is 2 of them, and this is also, you can see they want them stacked. You can see it kind of like 4 grids. So that is why these are stacked too high. 2 as in the number 2. You can see in the photo again. See, focuses again. You can see in the photo it's too high. And the number 4 is just 1, but 1 high but 2 facings. And you can see that's 2 facings right there. So that's how you use a planogram as well. Alright, this is an example of striping. So that top item right here, 511, 5541, is going to be the same item as the one on the bottom. Striping is not as common. Double facings or triple facings are way more common. You might see them every like few days. You'll see double facings or not. But yeah, striping is not common. It's just not that efficient because you gotta have one up here and one down here with the same bin number, and it's also not good for freight. But just always remember to check your POG and follow your POG for striping and facings. Alright, so this is the difference between mud flaps and just labels on the beam. So mud flaps are for bottom items on an aisle or on a bay, sorry I say. And you can see the mud flaps just reflect to the item underneath it. That's a mud flap for that. That is a mud flap for that item, and that is a mud flap for that item. That last item right here, we don't have a pallet for it. That's why it's on the floor. However, it just referred to your planogram. So we can see, as we can see in our plug, you can see the items on the bottom has this little thing on the bottom of it. It doesn't have any labels, has no notations, but just by like experience, you can tell, you'll know that those means pallets. And that is the reason why there is a little drawing on the bottom of these items on the bottom elevations. So that just means pallet. So these are all palletized pretty much. We're right next to the bay. These are called kick beams. So these are just beams on the floor, and some of the labels are damaged. We will, hopefully someone will replace them, not me. But yeah, that's the kick beam. It's a triangular piece of like a wedge almost. You can see slanted. The purpose for these ones is that there's decking as well, but it's just for the bottom. It looks a little bit nicer than having a square beam on the bottom. So on the POG, this will be notated with an elevation on the bottom. So if you can see closely on the bottom, it says elevation 3. That is 3 inches is the height of that kick beam. So what that means on the bottom, it just means there's going to be a kick beam. And that is exactly what we have. There is a kick beam. However, kick beams are less common in the store. There's just in our store, we just don't have that many kick beams. We try our best to have as many kick beams as we can, but sometimes we just cannot follow the POG because we don't have enough in our racking or supply. So for example, this one could have been a kick beam, but we just don't have kick beams available. But that one, like the big boxes, should be fine without kick beams. But before assuming anything, always refer to your MSM and see what their opinion is. If you guys have any kick beams, if you don't have kick beams, and so forth. And yeah, the steel racking should be outside in your bullpen or outside the store. But yeah, you guys should get familiar with this steel. Another thing in planograms, especially for displays, you're gonna see an X through the item. So if an X is through the box, it just means that the item is a display. So for these guys up here, these are the display lamps, and they will have an X through them. Anything with an X, it will be a display. And if you're still unsure, you can go to the right side. So for let's take number 12. Number 12, okay? If you go up here, see number 12, it'll be 616078. This is Allen Roth Clearby 4-piece bronze lamp set. and we look to the right side, you can see our type is display and number 1. For displays, it is important that we recognize it as a display and open the box or install the fixture that they sent us. So some resets will have fixtures that they'll send, some just fixture displays that will send, like notably wall tile, wall lights. But for something like this, and you have a reset and they don't send anything, you would have to open the box and put it up there with your permission from your MSM. Always ask your MSM before you open box selling stuff. Like always ask your MSM before opening items off the sale floor. Okay, so this is the basics of reading a planogram. When you print them, every computer is a little bit different. Our print button on this one, if I find it, is up here. This one's a little bit less common, this computer. So we have our print button, and then yeah, we just find our printer. So for our printers, there's a lot of printers. Most of the printers should be universal through every store, but there's the main printers for us is cabinets, kitchen and cabinets, millworks, and flooring. That's our 3 main printers, but it can definitely be different from every store. So please ask your MSM or fellow associates to see where your common printers are. And for mine, it will be cabinets, and usually we'll start with the letter. So C.A.B. P.R.T. P.R.T. just stands for printer. Cabinet printer 73. And if you don't know, you can always go to the printer and tap on it and see the name of it. So cabinet, for flooring, it's FLR P.R.T. flooring printer. And then for millworks desks, it's registered as lumber printer, so it's going to be LUM. Where is it? LUM PRT, and that's our lumber printer. And there's just a lot of printers you can go throughout the store. Usually the kitchen and design desk will have color print, so try not to use the color print if you don't have to. But yeah, you can. And also another important thing is do the custom feature. Never print out the pages that you don't need, which is the first page and the fixture bill. Just start immediately from printing from the important stuff to the last graphics page, and for the stuff after it, not important. So don't print them; they'll be a waste of paper. And once you print them, you would staple them together, and then you'll have your POG. Or staple the bays that you need together, and you will have your POG. So this is the bay that we saw earlier on the POG. This is the fixture. This is a fixture back here. Up there, that's also a fixture. This is a fixture. Ooh, good stuff. But yeah, these all wooden boxes are fixtures. More examples of a fixture. This metal piece underneath these, this metal plate is a fixture number. However, this graphic on the front is going to be a, see that bottom right corner, that's a graphics number. Every graphics number should be on the bottom right of the graphic. So this one right here, you can see the graphics number right here. That's the graphic, this is a graphic. So displays with a Lowe's display sticker, the football stickers up here, those means that these fixtures are sent in from distribution center or somewhere, and that that means these are dummy models and they do not work. And most importantly, that once these are discontinued, these displays are discontinued, we cannot sell them. These means just throw it away, e-waste or hazard. But yeah, if they don't have a display sticker, say just for example this one, that just means that this display was pulled off from stock, and we can sell this once it is discontinued. And depending on your store, always zip tie it or chain it or somehow to secure it down, so make sure no theft or loss. So this is what we saw earlier. This is the lamp POG, and there's a lot of notes on it. Yeah, every time you do some changes to it, especially for the for resets or temporary changes, what we call flexing. It's just like adding something or just changing something. We would have a little note. We would circle it and have a note on the side. And yeah, so this one has the note on the bottom. It just says added, and this could be used for Red Vest associates and MST associates. But any adding or changes to that always has to be notated. Also, this is how you staple it, just on the right side, on the top left. And to fold a POG, you just I'll show you in a bit. But folding a pog, and you just put in the pog pouch. Pog pouches on every base is a little bit different because of the beam placements. But yeah. Alright, this is the majority of the computers in the store is going to look like this. This is the front login page. So any of these computers that have like this, you can just access your UKG and punch in and punch out. That should be in your orientation already. But yeah, any of the computers you can just press in this and then you just punch out. For us to access the POG, you just go to store sign in, and then just punch. And then this is the home screen page. So what we want, there's not going to be Lowe's workspace on these computers. It's going to be called Link. So Link is kind of like the new system, I guess. This is how you go through. So every time you open Link, it's going to ask you, are you clocked in or you're clocked out. So you just press in already clocked in, and then it's just going to check clock step. Oh, there it goes. Now you just got to refresh the page. I guess I didn't click it. Okay, so same thing as earlier. You got to open email, but this is definitely a different page. So the main stuff is going to be on this right side. I have my MST bookmark, so I highly suggest you do that right now. So you go to library, you go down and you find MST right here, and then you just press the bookmark icon right here until it's blue. And once you have it bookmarked, you can go, every time you open up, your home page will have your MST app bookmark. However, we got to go through email first, get ourselves logged in. Yeah, you can try it without going through email first, and then you'll see that you can have to log in and you put username and all that stuff. This is just way much easier. Alright, now we can go with MST, and there's going to be 3 things under MST. MST Portal, merchandising execution. These 2 are never use it, okay? So, you just click on the first one, MST Portal, and it's just going to go through the same thing as what we're going to go through next. Alright, this is just MST Portal, and that's it. Another few things you can look through MST Link is something called C.A.R.T and something called Blue Yonder. So Blue Yonder, let's go through that first. MST bookmark. I take back what I said. Merchandising execution. You do need that for 2 things only, and 2 things only. So you go to merchandising execution. And then you got to put in your pin that you set in orientation. So this is going to be merchandising execution. So for us, what's important is going to be the quick links on the side. So we have 2 things that really matters, is C.A.R.T and space planning, also known as Blue Yonder. So let's go space planning real quick. So this is just going to be like an entire list of all the pods in the store. This could be helpful for resets where you need to do pods. Well, I don't think it really matters, but just press the first one, Catman prod. But this is pretty important for pods. What pods you're making? So pods are anything that aren't in a bay and is in like the main driveways. Yeah, you guys will have resets on that once you guys see it. You guys know what a pod is or flex pod is. But basically, you go here, and then you click the right side, web publisher, planograms, and that's it. And you go click out here, and the planogram hierarchy is what matters for us. So, planograms hierarchy. So, for example, if I want to do the automotive again, hardware, and then automotive, or you just click automotive, and then all the pogs under automotive section will be down here. You can play around with it, but I personally do not use it because it's not that quick. Yeah. Alright. And then, yeah, for flex, go all the way down until it says, I believe, promotional planning. And then you just have a bunch of them under here. These are all temporary promotional planning. That's how you use space planning. Alright, next we go back to merchandising execution. How to go to C.A.R.T. So C.A.R.T is our graphics and fixturing order place. So this is where we can order our graphics and fixtures. So let's just, in the top right corner it says search products. You can either put in the graphics number, fixture number, or an item number. So an item number is important. For example, a display in the lighting area, you only get the item number. You can just punch in the item number and it'll show you a list of all the displays and fixtures, all the graphics and fixtures that are under that item number. So this item number will give me two things. So this one, on the first, you can see the product number right here. It's gonna be F401206. That is a fixture number. And right here, this over here is G277409, which is a graphics number. And this is our two available things to order underneath this item number. And you'll understand which one to use. So you can if you want to find just specific items. So you just, for example, you just find this item number on the POG, like F number. You just punch it in, and you can just grab that singular one immediately. All right. So this is how to use C.A.R.T. And C.A.R.T, you can access it on your Zebra. However, it's a little bit glitchy, and I highly do not recommend ordering stuff on it. But let's go. So on your Zebra, you go to the web on the right here. Ooh, I already have it open. So you just go to the home page. And it'll be under collateral. So under collateral, it's going to bring you to C.A.R.T. You just press the square button. It's going to log you in. I don't know if it's focusing. Alright, now C.A.R.T is loaded on your Zebra. This is important for times you cannot access the computer and you're doing a reset in the middle, and then you just need to figure out what the item the graphics or fixture number looks like. You can quickly punch in a graphics number or fixture number. However, I really do not suggest ordering anything on here. You can add stuff to C.A.R.T, add an item to your C.A.R.T through this, but ordering something, you always go to computer because you do need to print something off of it after. So let's go down here. So we can see that this description has a lot of stuff. So the first part of it is going to be the name, graphic number, and item number. Well, you can really just decipher it yourself, but after that is the graphics number and the product description, and it will say the item number if it has anything item number related to it. And yeah, UOM means actually I have no idea what UOM means. I think it's minimum order or something like that. And then the price, and then it's say either available or unavailable or available. And inventory lead time just means that the estimated arrive time will be within 30 days. The most common ones are 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and 120 days. Anything else other than that, it's a little bit weird. Like for this one, 21, it's not really common. But besides that, to order one, you can just click here, type in 1, and then you just press add to cart. And then it's going to add to your cart. And your cart is going to be up here in your top right corner. So I already have some stuff I need to order, so this is a good example of how to order something. So I'm going to delete the one I just added because we don't need it. But you can see this one is a graphic number, graphics number, graphics number, graphics number, fixture number, okay? So we're just going to order this. We're just going to order it, okay? So for us, this price doesn't really matter that much. Because we're not paying for it, the store can pay for it. But before you order anything, always talk to your MSM. Make sure that you are allowed to order this stuff, because if you order anything, they still have to approve it, and they're gonna see that you order some random stuff without asking them. They're gonna get a little bit disappointed. All right, so go to the checkout button. Shipping speed is gonna tell you, shipping method is, you only have one option. It's gonna be freight estimation, and it's gonna give you a price. So that doesn't really matter because you only have one choice. You just press save and continue, and the budget amount, oh, it looks my store is 0 budget. So for me, I am not gonna order it. I'm just gonna pretend I'm ordering it. But yeah, every store will have a budget set for, and this is why it's really important to talk to your MSM, because your MSM knows your budget more than you. And yeah, right now we are at $0 budget, so we cannot order anything. So I'm not gonna order it, but just save and continue. And then after that, additional details, select department. So every time you do an order, try to do it one cart order per, like for example, you have a reset you've just finished and you have to order a bunch of graphics. Just do that one order for that one department, one reset, so we can have one same graphic. For me, I split my order into 2 resets. So I put my cart in like last month, and we didn't have any budget then. But yeah, I have 2 departments. I have Tool World and let's just say I think it was appliances. But basically, if that's the case, you can just do the first one. It doesn't really matter that much because it's only for your, if I'm not mistaken, only your MSM and your DMSM, which is District Merchandising Service Manager, can see. So I'm just gonna do tools and your aisle. Yeah, your aisle, just do the one, just do the first bay you have. So mine is, I think, 70 bay 3. Okay, and this select reason, just write like whatever the reason you have. For mine, it was never received. I'm gonna save and continue. And then this order recruits a part. This is just, ignore this part. This is just receipt pretty much. And then you press confirm order. Once you press confirm order, there's gonna be a screen that says order confirmed, waiting for approval, and there's gonna be a print icon on the top right. And that print icon you have to print because every time you order something, you have to print out, print it out and make sure that you ordered it. Once you print it out, you need to put that printout into the POG pouch. So if you have multiple bays, you need to print multiple copies. So it's gonna look something like this. It's gonna look something like this, where the print icon's gonna be on the right side, and you just print all the pages, print as many copies as you need to put in the pouches. And also there's a green dot program that we also must do. Alright, so this is the green dot process. So any fixture that's missing, you would put a green dot, and then this is a fixture number that's a fixture number. On the top and the bottom, that is expected arrival date. So this, I wrote July 2026. So you can also write the day. So basically the day you ordered it, you can just plus the estimated arrival time. Would be like lead time would be either 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days, or even 120 days. I only wrote July because it could be any time in July. So basically what this would help with is that after July, you still see the sticker, and there's no product, there's no display or fixture there still. What you can do is you can check the receipt that I told you to print out earlier. I'm gonna show you right now. But yeah, I can show you there's a lot of green dots out there. So we have 3 missing ones. I don't know if you can see 1, 2, and 3. Those are all 3 dots. So if it's past July and we still have not received the fixtures, we'd go to our POG pouch, and this is where the printout would come in play. So for us, we have a very thick receipt because I had an order of like 100 something. So your order details, here you go. Your order details will tell you the order number and the submitted date, submitted on date. So I'll know that it's going to be plus 30 days because I have July, and it should be arriving sometime around July 9th. If it's not around July 9th, maybe wait like 1 or 2 weeks and revisit one more time, and if it's still hasn't arrived, then you can reorder the part, because C.A.R.T has a tendency to not send everything you order. That's a little bit bummer, but that is what it is. This is what you want to do. You just print out your POG, your receipt pretty much, and then you just staple it together and just put it in the POG pouch. I had to roll it up because it was really thick, but I highly suggest just fold it like a regular regular POG. So back to MST Portal. There's going to be a way to figure out a POG just based on having an item number or a graphics number or a reset number, a lot of things. So let's go. It's going to be the top right corner up here. Click it, POG Finder. So POG Finder, you can either search up your planogram name. So let's just go back to automotive, and then we'll see. We can just click the first one and then press apply over here, and then you'll see that we have automotive down here. So we can just click on it. It's the same POG. It's the same method as just like going to the map and looking at your bay and trying to do that. But this is also easier way if you know your name of the POG or the number of your POG or the DB key. Next one is item number or reorder number. So this one is probably by far the easiest. So if I just have an item number, for me, I can just plug in, so I just plugged in an item number, and it just shows me the POG that will have this item number in any of the bays. So it could be, for this one it's just one bay, but for multiple set POGs, it can be, the item number could be in any of those bays and you won't know. Reorder number, that is your G numbers and F numbers. Alright, so I have a graphics number right now in my phone. So sometimes graphics numbers and fixture numbers do not come up with anything. It just means that either A, the graphic number does not belong in the store, like they sent an extra one, or B, the graphics number doesn't have a POG linked with it. So for example, this one just does not have a POG with it. So this either just means that there's no POG with this item, this graphics number in it, or and it does exist, or it just means they sent an extra one, or this is something we don't throw away. Let's try another one. I got a fixture number this time, and this one also does not appear to have anything. These are a little bit more iffy. These are not from the bay itself, but from any bay you see, you will get a result. However, this one, I just pulled it off of that pod over there, or sorry, this end cap. This one doesn't really look like anything. And then one of the displays here. Yeah. So that is how to use the planogram finder, and it's really, really helpful. I really recommend using it. You can also put in a reset number, so if you have any reset number that are given to you by your MSM, you can just punch in your reset number. But you cannot combine two things at once. But you can put in your reset number, and this one will guarantee show you, oh well, if it's a big reset that has a bay in it that is not a service task, then once you put in your reset number, it will show. Another thing is you can also go back to store maps. It's going to be the reset icon up here, and then you click it. This is going to be really slow and laggy. I don't know, it's just been an issue, but you can press it and then you can write in the reset number. So I have 618098, and then it's going to show up. You click it. Don't click anything else. It looks like it's not loading, but it's just slow. And then you click out and press apply, and then what this does, as you can see, it highlights a lot of things right here. That means all this is included in our reset. So this is a really big reset. That's why a lot of bays are highlighted. But yeah, this is the reset number right here. It's highlighted down here. Or sorry, this is you can have up to 5 resets highlighted, but I really don't recommend that because it's just a lot of things. But yeah, this is how you do it. So after you highlight it, there's going to be 2 things. This is going to be a huge reset. I don't know if you'll ever have to encounter this, but this is our flooring reset in 2026 summer. And yeah, look. So underneath the reset, or the highlight, there's going to be the black letter and the ones with the gray highlight. So the gray highlight is the old POG, and the old POG is the old one. So you're not using it anymore. It's just the older one. But the new one is the ones with the black lettering, like the regular ones. Like you see how there's black lettering? It's just black lettering. That is the new POG. And this is important because once you click this new POG and you go to merchandise, live summary, it gives you the laminate flooring, or the new POG instead of the old one. So right now you can see this is going to be laminate flooring. Actually, this is not a good example. Let's go click out. Every time you click out, you can see back there. So for example, let's see this one, hybrid resilient flooring. That's the current POG right now, the old one. So we click on this, and we go to merchandise, and you go to live summary. You will get the new POG listed there. You see the new POG right there? That is the new POG. However, if I did not have my reset highlighted, let me just click out of it, apply. Oh, I just did not want to go. Another way you can do is just refresh the page. Alright, just refresh the page. If, for example, if I did not have that reset highlighted, it's just going to be hybrid resilient flooring. If I click it, and I go to merchandise and live summary, it's just going to give me the current old POG, and that is not what we want, because if we're doing a reset, we want the new updated POG. That is why it is important to always punch in your reset, and just punch in your reset number up here, and just make sure that what you have is correct. And yeah, so this one is correct. This one is our current one, which is not correct once we start doing the reset, but we're not doing the reset right now, so it doesn't matter. And also to sign out on these computers, there's two options. You can go lock screen or the sign out. So lock screen is just gonna push you to lock screen out. You can test it out, but sign out is what I want to do right now because I'm not using the computer anymore. And it's also just good practice to sign out of your computer when you're not using it, because someone else might want to use the computer and you're just gonna make them think that you're still using it. So that once you're finished with using a computer, always sign out. Alright, let's talk about reset types. So there's main two types of resets, a space planning and a non-space planning. So a non-space planning is the easy one. So just basically once you finish a reset, you just take a photo of it. So let's go to a reset page. Let's just say we do, what is something I started? Let's just do this one. So just press start reset, and then this will just be post reset photo, and then we just submit a photo. Like, we just take a photo of the reset after we finish. And post reset photos, I can believe you can take up to like 15 photos. I'm not quite sure. There's a limit for every reset, but you'll know if you can't take any photos. But yeah, you generally just need like 1 or 2 photos if it's just like a bay. But if it's like maybe adding pods, adding side stacks, like a lot of side stacks in the drive aisle, then you have to take more photos. Okay, so let's go. I'm gonna pause it. Remember, because if you don't pause it, the hours keep running until 4 hours, and that's not good. So that is a non-space aware task. Next, so a space aware task is something like this. So this is an old reset we could have finished. So this is a space aware task. So it's kind of like servicing. Just think about it, servicing. So servicing under a reset. Just think about it like that. So it's basically everything in a service except the pre-reset photos. So let's go verify bay. So this is just scan the barcode of these numbers, and sometimes it will have weird numbers like this. Sometimes they'll have weird numbers like aisle 859 or aisle 954. What you have to do is you're gonna have to match. What you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to match the rack ID down here, the rack ID right here, to, let's go back to the home page. It's really annoying, but basically you're gonna have to match the rack ID to the planogram. So this one will be this rack ID to this planogram. So this is something you're gonna have to make a list of. It's really annoying. You don't have to write the full rack ID, maybe like the first chunk of letters or maybe the first 2 chunks of letters, but yeah. The aisle number and bay numbers can be wrong on space-aware tasks. Just remember that. Just continue reset. So once you finish verify bay, link, barcode, the same thing. Just go on to planogram verification. And planogram accuracy, same thing as before. And then downstocking. Downstocking for this one, you can downstock if it, or you should downstock if it's empty. Like the bay needs some downstocking. However, downstocking under reset is not 100% necessary. So once you've completed all the planogram accuracy, there's a button right down here that says downstock not needed, and that just means you can skip downstocking. And then post reset photos is for a photo for every bay. And then your reset completion questions. This should generally be yes. If it's not yes, then you got that means you didn't finish your reset, and then that's an issue. Okay, but that is a space aware reset, and that's how you do a reset on the zebras, or like how to log your hours into a reset. So this is also called steppers. This is the lingo for this in MST is called steppers. So this all are called steppers. So if MSM is like, did you do the steppers for this reset? This is what they're referring to. Okay? Alright, so we'll just pause the reset. That's how you do the space aware task. So these ones are not fun, because it's like you're doing these ones, but the ones you take a photo, it's just easy. Another thing about these ones is even if you do any reset, right? Just generally any reset, you take a photo. The issue with that is vendors cannot see your photos unless you service them. So after you do a reset, you have to service the bays you did the reset, so the vendors can see the post reset photos. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the vendors do not have any access to see reset completion photos. You can only see service completion photos. So take the time to service a bay after you're done with the reset, or if your MSM tells you to, you can they'll probably send someone else on the next day to do some servicing over there. But that is how to log your hours in servicing, or sorry, this is how to log your hours into resets on the Zebra. Another thing to know actually is the plan hours on the bottom right here. It says plan hours 3 hours, plan hours 3 hours, blah blah blah. It's planned, so this is not like a metric you generally have to follow unless your MSM wants you to. Our MSM doesn't really care about the hours. She just plans it out how we want. Our MSM just plans out the amount of hours. So for example, if you forgot to log into your reset, it should not be a big issue. However, you always want to log into a reset. Just don't like neglect and like, oh, I don't need to log into this reset. Just log into the reset. Log your hours. Another thing is this same thing as servicing. If you have 2 people logging into this reset, for example, both of you guys put 1 hour in. So in total, your plan hours will go up to 2 hours. If we start a reset, right, the time it's spent is right here. It's gonna keep going up. So this person right here spent 3 hours and 26 minutes on this reset. Okay, but yeah, the plan hours says 8, so it should be fine. Okay, the plan hours is just for the MSM to know how many people send into this reset, pretty much. Alright, so this is how to do like a reset. So basically a simple reflow reset, just moving stuff around. There's a way you can do it. So just remember, you can let's go to our MST app. So to the MST app, you just go to this button, or if your MSM did assign it to you, you can go up here, but usually it's gonna be down here. Just store, prioritize, just go to resets, find the reset according to the number, and then you can just log in. So for example, I just do this one, and you press start reset, and once I press start reset, your hours will start being logged into this reset, and this will be used for metrics and whatnot. But basically, let's just do an example. So we're gonna learn how to queue a planogram. So queuing a planogram pretty much changes the bin numbers. If you remember earlier, the bin numbers on the label are the numbers on the labels, and the queuing the planogram also shows you what items do not belong in that bay. So let's go do the first things first. So when we queue a planogram in, we always have to dump out the bay first. And that just means that we have to remove all the selling things in the bay virtually. So if we go over here, and we go to our blue barcode, you can see the location details of this bay. So what we can do now, this is early as I said, the checkout feature. So go to actions, checkout items, and what we're going to do is we can select everything. And don't worry, we're just going to remove all the items from this location. So if we press remove all items, there's going to be nothing simmed into this bay. So this is something you have to do relatively quick. For example, customers trying to find this item, and then another associate's trying to help them. And if you do not quickly sim back the items, what's going to happen is that they think that we don't have it in store. So once we're done checking it out, we can just exit out of this, and then we can go to pricing. We can go to our top left corner, and then queue planogram labels. Now what we are going to do is we're going to go to the POG. Usually it will not be in the pouch because it's going to be a new POG that you just got assigned. You just scan the barcode. You scan the barcode, and it's going to show you a few options. So this is a 4-bay set. It's a 4-bay set. So this POG right here, let's just pretend it's new. So this POG right here is bay 1 of 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select bay 1. And this is what you'll see. This is the bin numbers right here. You can see aisle 6, bay 22, location 1. So no matter what you do, always do this step. This step is very important. It is to just update them. So you just press the actions button right here and update locations. Though it might not look like it changes anything, it will definitely change something if there's a small change down at the bottom that you might have missed. So this just means put in the aisle number. So this is aisle 6. And the bay is 22. So just press save, and then just press save and next. And now this is the default label. So by default, the POG will have all the labels that you need at the correct numbers. Most of the time it works pretty good. However, sometimes there's like a lot like triple facing or like 4 facing, or like end caps and stuff. this does not work really well. So what you can do is either you can do update by size. You can have all of them at 0 first, and then you can have like maybe like if you want 2 for everything, or like 3 for everything, you can do that. So if you want for like 3 for everything, you can do that. And then, but I'm not gonna really change it. Or if you want, you can do update all. So if I just want to change this to 2, if I want to have this as default when it prints out 2 labels, I just press 2, and then I press save, and then this will default as 2 now. So now if you press Q labels, it's gonna ask you set default quantities. This is literally, I've never seen this work. I usually never press set later, but set defaults is what I do. Hopefully you can fix it one day, because it really never works. But set defaults, and then this is an important step. This is scan location barcode. So basically what this means is everything that's on this POG will be scanned into the bay. So scan it real quick. Make sure you scan the standing barcode, because if you scan the Topstock barcode, all the items on the POG will go into Topstock, and that's going to be really painful because you got to sim everything out again, and then you have to figure out from there. But now basically everything just simmed right back into this bay. The bad thing about this is that if the J hooks right here, it's not in the POG, the J hooks will not be simmed in, and so as side stacks as well. So this side stack is a permanent side stack, will not be simmed into the bay. So what we can do is just go back to products app, and just scan it right here, and then we just do the bulk check-in feature, just checking items, and we start scanning. Maybe in this clearance item. Another thing you can do instead of just doing this is just to like service it, and then when you do your planogram accuracy, you just scan all of these. But I'm not gonna do that for the sake of the video right now, so I'm just scan everything. But I just scanned everything in. But yeah, that's how you queue in a planogram. So this is very useful because, for example, let's just say this item didn't belong in here, alright? So if I scan the barcode on this item and the location is not shown in this bay, what that means is that this item does not go into this bay anymore. And this is also something you have to do before you start, and you have to queue in your planogram and dump out the bays for all of the bays you're doing in the reset, so you'll know where this goes. So this is bay 22. For example, if I scan this and the location bay 22 does not go here anymore, and it says like bay 18, then I know this product gets moved to bay 18, and this does not stay here anymore. And vice versa. For example, if I scan something over there, like over there, and it says bay 22, and does not go into that bay anymore, and it doesn't have its home over there, I know that that item will move over here, which is bay 22. It's just more of an experience thing to like figure it out, but once you get the hang of it, you will be pretty good at it. It's just nice to know. Generally, clearance ones do not get scanned into the bay. Like clearance ones will not be in. Generally, clearance items will not be in the POG. However, there's something we have to do if we have clearance in the POG, the new POG, or inactive items in the new POG, or active items not on POG. And also inactive items not on POG. So there's 4 categories. So active not on POG, inactive on POG, inactive not on POG, clearance on POG. So active not on POG is something the people who makes the POG forgot to remove or add into the. So active not on POG is something that POG makers forgot to remove in the bay, in the POG. So active not on POG is an item that the POG makers forgot to remove from the POG. So for example, if I scan this item, let me see. Let's just say I scan this item, right? And just for example, right? If I already queued in all the planograms, I dumped out all the bays already in our reset. We go over here, and we see C, it says active right here. This is status. And let's just pretend that there is no location simmed. So it just says no location. Let's pretend that, okay? That just means this product does not belong in this bay anymore, and it does not belong in any of these bays, and there's no home for it. So active not on pog is just another term for no home. What you want to do with this is bring it out, have a pile of active not on pogs, and make a list of all the item numbers that are active not on pog. What you have to do in a bit is do an IR. And an IR is called issue resolution. It might be in your training if you remember. But in a bit I'll show you how to make an IR. But any active not on pog is really bad for the store as well, because this just means there's no home for it and the department has to find somewhere else to sell it. This will be something you have to talk to your DS or department supervisor and your MSM, see what they want to do. Most likely you'll just make a list, submit the IR, and then top stock the product. For this reset we had a lot of top stock, a lot of active not on pog items, so we had to make like a special crate for them. But usually active not on pogs will stay generally like under like 5 items. Yeah, you can just get like a Google sheet or an Excel sheet, Google Sheets, whatever, something like a piece of paper as well. You just write all the item numbers that are active not on pog. Alright, let's talk about inactive not on pog. So an inactive not on pog is an active item. Oh, sorry. So let's talk about inactive not on pogs. So let's talk about inactive on pog. So an inactive on pog just means that the people who made the pogs accidentally forgot to turn on an item to active status. And what you're gonna have to do is also make an IR. So I don't think I have any inactive on pogs right now. Alright, so I just found an old inactive item. So basically an inactive item will look like this. It will have an inactive barcode down here instead of an active one, or inactive status location thing instead of active status or clearance status. What this just means is that an inactive item just means like a discontinued product. Just think it like that. So this is an old item. It does say 0 on hand, so this might have got billed out or something, but let's just ignore that for now. Just know that this icon right here means inactive. So the process for this is, for inactive on pog, just remember, submit an IR or issue resolution, and the people who do that will turn this item on active, and that will just mean active on pog. Active on pog is the status you want for everything in your bay. Okay, so the next thing is clearance on pog. So clearance on pog is something that also is an issue that the pog makers will do, is that they will send us a new planogram, and like a bunch of items in the planogram are going to be under clearance status. That one doesn't count because that one's just flexed in, which just means like the red vest added it in because they need to sell it through. But basically, like a while ago, we had a ton of clearance, a lot of the products are clearance items, and that's not good because we don't want to sell clearance items that are on the planogram. So it's going to be the same process for the inactive on pog. We're just going to submit an IR, and then they're going to turn it to active. Alright, and then lastly is inactive not on pog. So for example, if I scanned an inactive item right here, again I'm going to show you the same example. Inactive, it says inactive, and there's no locations. So this is different from inactive on pog, because inactive on pog means that the item actually is written on the planogram. But if it's inactive not on pog, what it means is that this inactive item has no home, and they need to turn it on to clearance status. So what we do is we also make a list of it. We make like a pile, and then make a list of it inactive not on pogs, and then make the list of all the item numbers, and then we're going to top stock it. And then we're going to send an email to the department supervisor, or let your MSM send an email to the department supervisor and have them email markdown support. And also CC email your operations ASM, because they also need to oversee this stuff. But basically, inactive not on pog is a list you write down, and then you're going to have to send an email to your department supervisor. So for example, if this is home decor, we'll send an email to the flooring department supervisor. and they'll take care of that. Hopefully they'll take care of it. But yeah, anything like the active not on POG, inactive on POG, inactive not on POG, clearance on POG. Once we send those emails and make the issue resolutions, you really don't need to follow up with it. Maybe if the DS didn't like respond to the email, you can like get like a little heads up, or you can also just like tell them in person, like maybe check your emails again. But all this stuff is pretty much not in our jurisdiction, I want to say, after we send the email or do the IRs. You can follow up with it. It would be really helpful to the department supervisors, but it's not really our problem. It would be more of the MSM, because every week the MSM will either do it themselves or assign someone else to do it to follow up with the issue resolutions. So what is an IR? That's a great question. So we go to MST app, and then this is called a service IR. You can do the same thing under reset, but let's just do service IR. So the thing with the reset IR or reset issue resolution is that if you make an issue resolution and the issue doesn't get resolved past by your due date, because all the resets will have a due date, and if the issue resolution does not get resolved by your due date, what's going to happen is your reset is going to go overdue, and then your metrics are going to get tanked or get bad. So what we're going to do is just like pretend we're going to start a service. So we just scan the blue barcode, and we go here, and then on the top left corner it says issues. So you can see there's a lot of issues we had before. I guess they still haven't fixed it, but basically we open a new issue, create new issue, and for these type of issues it's just I have a stocking issue. So for I have a collateral issue, it just means things that you haven't received. I have a POG issue is something on the planogram that doesn't make sense. For example, if the items all doesn't fit into the POG, then you can have I have a POG issue. Or if they said the wrong planogram, you can also have a POG issue. I have a map issue. That just means like this is more of an MSM thing, but basically a map issue just means that the planogram or the bay is not assigned to the right area in space planning, which is something you really don't need to know. It's just like the MST Portal map thingy on the computers. But so for us, it should be stocking issue, and then you have active items not on POG, as I was talking about earlier. The list you have, you just type it in. Inactives on new POG, that is just inactive items on POG, as well as clearance items on POG. Both clearance and inactive items on POG will go into the second category. And then remember, inactive not on POG is an email you have to send to a DS, not an IR. And the last two, this is the fourth one. I don't know if your guys' store does it, but this is what I was talking about earlier. We send the email instead of doing an IR for it. And the third one is POG has items not on master table. I actually have no idea what that is. I don't really care about that one. But yeah, the most important ones is active items not on POG, and active items on new POG. Okay, so for example, let's just say we have an active items on a POG. So we just write comments, right? We say active items not on POG. You wanna make these. You wanna make the comment as simple as possible. So let's just say and just make a list of it, okay? And then you just want to make it as clear as possible. Next you want to do is to take a photo of the bay, so they can generally see like what's wrong with it, and just upload, and scan the planogram or enter a DB key, and scan the standing barcode. So if I just scan the planogram or enter the I just scanned the planogram. It's gonna show at the bottom. It doesn't. It's kind of weird, but it's gonna be at the bottom. So standing barcode is the blue one. So once we have that, so we have everything ready to submit. So 622 or L6 Bay 22. We have our planogram scanned, your photo, we have our comments, and then you just press submit, and then hopefully they respond in maybe like 2 or 3 days. But if they don't, you can like go to let me exit this. So this is something it looks like. It will look like this. You can just, this is something I did before. Clearance items on new POG, and then blah 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 blah. They'll give you a bunch of blabber. You don't really need to freaking figure it out. It's just this more MSM talk. But it says status change to merchandising. That's also something for MSM to do. This is more of their problem now. So we'll have them figure it out, or they can also teach you about it. But I don't know how to do it, so I'm not teaching you. Another thing you can do is request status, which is going to say status requested, or you can do resolved by store. So this is your two options. Request status just means you want to ask them for the status. You see how I did status requested, but they never responded, so I don't care about this anymore. Or you can do resolved by store. This just means you want to close out the IR and you don't want to do it. You don't want to have them fix it anymore, or like you guys fixed it already. Okay, so resolved by store. What could be a possible way that you can resolve by store is you sold all your active not on POG or your, but however for clearance on POG and inactives on POG, that you can't close by yourself. You really need them to turn those items to active on your POG. All right. So that's how you submit an IR. They're really tedious, really annoying because you have on the zebra. You can't even type it out. It's just annoying. But that is the IR. All right. So let's talk about writing notes on the planogram. So earlier I talked about we flex that clearance item into the bay right there. We flex that in. So we're just gonna write on the POG real quick to notate that this is a flex item. So what we're gonna do is just grab the POG and then literally just write on the notes. We grab the planogram. So this one's gonna probably stay a bit long, so we're just gonna write it real quick. So what I like to do is just like draw an arrow and then write, and another arrow just like flexed. Hashtag 6037094. So if anyone reads the POG in the future, they'll know this is a flex item. You generally don't want to do it for clearance items. I just did it for example, but this is also something a DS department supervisor should be doing. Or if you have to do add an item in a reset, you'd also do this one. All right, so this is an example bay right here to change elevations. Let's start off with how to read the POG for elevation, for the height of elevations. So this one's a little bit wrong because we had a reset to do this. But just for example, this says 30, this is 58, and that is 142. So that is the elevations. So this just means this first beam is going to be at 30 inches, second beam at 58 inches, third beam at 142 inches, and the top one is going to be 180 inches. You rarely need to do the top ones, but this is something that MSM wants. If they want to do it, they'll let you know. So let's just see how to measure a decking, or sorry, elevation. So to measure elevation, it's just get a tape measure. It's from the bottom of the floor to the top of the beam. So this would be 30 inches. I don't know if you can see it on camera. That's 30 inches. So right up to here, this elevation would be at 30 inches. Let's see the next one up top. So from the floor to the top of the elevation, it's going to be 5 feet. These are all really rough. Just round to the nearest half inch. Like if it's like 59 and a half, or like just near the closest number. If the POG wants 60 and you read like 60 and a half, or like 59 and a half, then it's alright. It's gonna be 60. It's just not that accurate, the uprights or like the measurements on the POG. But that's just gonna be rough, okay? And there's also different size beams. That's also in the POG, which I forgot. So in the POG, the first number right here says 2.5, 2.5, and 5.5. So that number is the thickness of the beam. So this beam is gonna be 2.5 inches. So this is 2.5 inches, and that's that. And the next number is the width of the beam. So the width of the beam is just the width of the bay. So the next number is 102, 102, and 102 right here. So to measure the width of the bay, you have to just here. It's gonna be from the end to the upright to the upright. from the upright to the upright, this is rough estimate, is 102. So the most common size for a bay is going to be 102 wide, 97 inches wide, and yeah, that's the most common ones. All right, to find the depth of decking, it's just going to be from this end inside to this inside. So, my tape got stuck. So you just grab the tape measure and then you just measure the inside of it. So this is going to be 38. So this, now we know this depth of this decking is 38. So the most common sizes is going to be 38 and I believe 44. But every store is a little bit different, so we don't know. I don't know. Yeah, this is 38-inch deep. This type of decking is called inlay decking. So the next type of decking is called waterfall decking, and you see that lip right there? That is called waterfall decking. And this is just you have to use it in Topstock because it holds more strength. And the same thing applies. You just measure the inside. All right, so we see on the POG, you can see that for this section it'll say inlay, 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 and then we can just refer to the sections like 1 to 7, which is down here. Is going to be inlay decking, and then this is so 8 through 13 inlay decking. So this is for our toilet seats. Yeah, but these are all going to be inlays. Waterfall decking only used for Topstock, but sometimes they do want waterfall decking instead of inlays, which is less common, like really uncommon, because if you can see the waterfall decking will block some of the beam, which is where the label goes, so it's going to be a little bit illegible. Okay, so that's how you see it if you have inlay or waterfalls on your pod. Well, yeah, these are called FBMOs. They can be removed once you take out the decking, but these are just for structural integrity. Just ask your MSM if you guys need it or not. Definitely need them in Topstock, but in selling, it's a little bit iffy. These go in holes inside the beam. But yeah, it's pretty easy to get out. If it isn't, you just have to push in the beam while someone pushes up the FBMO. I don't know what FBMO stands for, but that's it. So this is a pin style beam. This is a pull style beam, and by far this is the most common one. Is just a pull flap style one. This one is just you just put your thumb under here and just lift it. Alright, this is the process of changing an elevation. First you want to take off all J-hooks that are blocking your view. So next is something called a J-pin. Right here, that's a J-pin. So these go in the beams of broken pin ones, or you can just put them in any of them, but these are very necessary if these pins are broken. So we'll take it out, because if you don't take it out, it's not going to come out. So ideally you'll have 2 people on elevation changing, because you need one person to hold the other side of it. I do have someone next to me helping it. So what you want to do to change elevation is you want to pull the pin out and you're going to pop it up. So sometimes you can just move it up with your hand, and you can pull up. You can feel it move up, and then you just pull out. It'll come out that easily. However, if sometimes the uprights are a little bit bent in or out, what's going to happen is that this pin is going to be super hard to pull, or this beam is going to be super hard. So you're going to have to use a mallet and hit it up. That still doesn't work. You're going to have to use some critical thinking skills. You can look behind the beam and go put your head through here, and then you're going to see the other side of it. You're going to either decide to use a flat head to pry the beam more, or you're going to decide to use a C-clamp to push the beam in together. So C-clamp is when the beam needs to be when the upright needs to be clamped closer, and the flathead is when the beam needs to be pulled apart more. Okay, so C-clamp, there's 2 sides you can use. You can clamp it either here, or you can clamp it with a smaller one as well, or you can clamp it this way if needed. And for the Phillips, for the flathead, you can either wedge it up here with a mallet, you can hit it up here, or you can wedge it with the mallet up down here. But yeah, beam elevation change are the most common resets. It's going to be not that fun. Most of the time it's gonna be very dusty, it's gonna be very hard work. Especially taking out the top elevation ones, those are really hard to do. You need 2 OPs or you need stand on deck. You're gonna have to figure something out. But this one's gonna be easy, so just pull the pin, pop it up, and pop it out. You can't push it all the way up to the top because that's the design of the hole. You can only put like up and then just a little bit down, and you can pop it out. Alright, so right now we're gonna have our helper over here gonna hold this side, and I'll be on the other side. Okay. Right. And also, the beam can just flail around like there's no one else holding it. It can hold it as long as that pin is clicked in. This beam should not fall. So this thing is blocking our view, but it's no worries. You just the same thing. Just pull the pin, you pop it out. And then you always have to use verbal commands with someone helping you. If the beam is sagging a little bit or is it too high, you can see from your point. You just want to let your partner know to go higher or lower. So just use verbal commands, okay? And if that doesn't work, good luck. So this one we're gonna do same thing. Pop it out easy. So most beams are, I would say 50-50 easy, 50-50 hard. Just hope you get easy ones. To put it in, it's simple as well. You just line it up and then click it in. You hear that click? That's in. And then do the same thing with the other side. You can click it in. Do the same thing with the other side. Have someone else do it. There. So yeah, just click it in. And then have the other person click it also in. But yeah, for beam changes, always have one side off, then the next. You can't really do it simultaneously. Same thing with putting it in. You only have to take put one side in first, then the next. But yeah, beam changes are the most common reset, not the most fun, and you just definitely just have to learn from the experience because it's really hard at some points. All right, so this is our store's racking and decking is all out here. This is our beam piles. They're all assorted. So we have 5-inch. Let's see. So this is our 5-inch beam. It's really big, the biggest one. And then we have our 2.5-inch beams, or just 2-inch beams, the small size, and our 3-inch beams, which is medium size. So just refer to your POG on whichever beam size you need. These are the uprights. This is decking palletized decking. These are just new. And this is our waterfall decking. And to measure the size of waterfall decking, you measure from this side to the end of that pole, not from the wire. Measure the inside. This is how you measure the waterfall decking size. And as you remember, this is the same things on the inlays. You just measure from this piece of metal to the other side piece of metal. Okay. Depending on your store, you guys might have palletized or like banded or shrink wrapped beams and racking. So yeah, just be careful. Okay. Sometimes you need a forklift driver to help you get it out. But yeah, that's how you. So yeah, this is how we have our steel. It's all outside. Now you have reached to the end of the video. I hope this video helped you guys. I hope you guys learned some stuff from it. There's so much more to learn in MST, like driving power equipment, like banding, using value more. So much more stuff you need to do. Hands-on training. The most important thing I just want to emphasize: knowing how to use your zebra and doing elevation changes. Knowing how to use your zebra is a crucial skill for both people on service team, and knowing how to do elevation changes is crucial for those who are on the reset team. Because elevation changes are the most common type of changes for us, because we are merchandisers and we always have to move product around. But yeah, this is the end of the video. I hope you guys learned some stuff from it. I know this has been a long video. Wish the best, you guys. MST career.